Hello, welcome to another TOPT episode. My name is Larry.
Lawrence. Seb.
And Lionel, and this is where we talk anime and One Piece. Woo!
Yeah,
Let's go!
That was good, man.
I know,
that
I killed it. It's a good chapter.
You been practicing?
Nope.
Okay.
It's a good chapter, bruh.
Oh.
Alright.
For sure.
Alright. What up, guys? How are you? For all those that are new to the channel, welcome. This is episode 212. And for today's agenda, we will be reviewing and discussing One Piece chapter 1154.
Yes.
Can't wait. Yeah. So, unfortunate for Marv, he gonna be getting spoiled. Hard.
That's every episode.
Yeah. Nah, but not this one.
But he's not seeing images.
Yeah,
It's just like,
he's not seeing images.
word of mouth.
He's on the thumbnail.
For those that are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for, just listening on the go. Hope whatever you're doing on the go is safe and you're having a good time. If you guys haven't liked the video yet, please like the video for us. It does us wonders. I like to see the likes hit over 1,000 each episode. So if you guys can kindly do that, please do that. It means a lot. What else? We are not going to be watching the latest episode today because I don't think we're going to have enough time. There's going to be a lot of discussions going on. Sebastian says he has a plethora of theories that we're going to have to get through. Hopefully it's not all in one shot. He spreads them out, you know what I'm saying?
It's difficult because of... there's one I could do a little earlier.
Oh.
Just based off how the chapter's structured.
Listen, bro. Sitting through like 20 minutes of theories is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I'll stretch it.
That's why I'll be like, yo, I'm going to give you a theory here, and then I'll give you a theory like later on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But other than that, Marv has done us the privilege of extending the episode for half an hour. So we have a little bit more time as well today. So we'll, instead of stopping at 9 p.m., we'll be stopping at 9:30 p.m.
Hey, look at that. Maybe we get the calls.
Maybe. Depends. That really depends. Lionel not being here kind of helps.
It
really does. You know what I'm saying?
If we do get the calls, there's a Nerd Taku theory I need you to hear. It's so good.
All right. Yeah. We could do all that. But again, thank you guys for being here. If you guys want to send us any PO packages, you could do so to our PO box. It's in the video description below. Also, we have these shirts. This is a merch shirt. So it's at dashery.com or something like that. I'll put it in the comment as pinned below. But if you want to go to the video description, just go to the link and you'll see the merch link. But other than that, Seb, let's read some super chats, say what's up to chat, and get this popping.
Yeah, man. I see D-B in the chat, Ian Butler, Dope, Endermite, Kirby, Big B Stay Low, Luckener, Ayo Let's Go, Lego Chitin, Courtney Marie, Jean VB, A Zimba, Jean J, so many. It's got y'all names kind of weird. Twilight's in here. Shanktum's in here, Dom the God, Dempsey Roll Epo, Brotherman P, Astro Mac, Kendall Marshall, Toji, Zoro D Joy Boy, Jeremiah, just so many y'all. Like Larry says, hit that like button. We're trying to get to 1,000 likes on this video, y'all. So if you love the reveal, if you love One Piece, if you love TOPT, hit that like button. It does help us with the YouTube algorithm. But let's get to some super chats. We got a bunch sitting. We got a bunch of Nakamas join the ship. I see Lowen Weenie? I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be said. But welcome to Nakama, Frank Cervantes, Arc Plays, all became Nakamas, David Belmoso, Mavers, Don Pablo VP, Seth Perez, Jacob Cotton, all became Nakamas. We also have 4 months at Nakama from Lovers Edits. It says Rocks and Whitebeard versus Roger, Ray, and Gabon, all prime. Who y'all got? Oof. Man. I mean, it's hard to say, right? Like, we don't have, like, full... We haven't seen any of them fight at their fullest capacity, for real.
I got Rocks.
Just Rocks? not included?
Yeah, Whitebeard could sit down.
Okay. Whitebeard could sit down?
Yeah.
Did you hear what it was said here, bro?
Mm-hmm.
It's Rocks and Whitebeard versus Roger, Ray, and Gabon.
Mm-hmm.
You tripping. But I think I got Roger, Ray, and Gabon, personally. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Right, we got another 10 from Wise Life Gaming. It says, "What up, fellas?" with a fire emoji chapter. So I know theories will be just as good. My question about Rocks last week had Larry and Seb ready to square up. Laughing emoji. Roger versus Shanks. Prime Whitebeard versus Kaido. Who y'all got? Hashtag Oda Cooked. Hashtag PETA. I got Roger over Shanks, and I have Prime Whitebeard over Kaido, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Same.
Okay. All right, another 5 from Azimba. It says, "What's up, top? Are you guys going to Anime NYC? And if so, what days? Hashtag Buggy Gang, hashtag Blackbeard stocks are up."
Yeah, we will. It'll be all 4 days.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Did they iron out the
tickets?
the panel stuff, or?
No, they say they're going to reach back out.
Okay.
Yeah, but the panel stuff will be settled and we'll have the tickets. I think I have to go and get the tickets, or we just got to show up and just be like, yo, you know how we did it at Momocon?
Yeah.
I think it's like that. We don't get normal tickets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Another 20 from Malik Music, I think. It says, "What's up, my Nikas? Longtime Apple Pod listener, first time super chatter. Is that a word? It is now. Love what you guys do, and you guys make my workday 10 times better. Much love to you guys. P.S. I just bought Gantz. Finna see what the hype about. Hey, man, enjoy that. Have a good time with it. Keep yourself sane, and drink water."
Yeah, make sure you go to therapy after. Definitely got to go to therapy.
Oh, man, there's some wild chapters in there. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Let us know of your progress. Like, hit me in the Discord if anything. Another 38 months at Yonko status. Sheesh, our highest tier of membership from Twilight Straw Hat.
Thank you.
It says, "Y'all just getting better and better with time, like a fine wine, LMAO. But now, much love to you for making every week have a light. Hashtag CD Larry, hashtag Sebi Webby, hashtag Law versus Horse, hashtag CGI Lionel, hashtag Marv Digo, hashtag Shin Gang." Yes, man. Thank you, Twilight.
Thank you.
38 months at Yonko is wild.
Yeah, bro, that's our boy.
He called us the dawn, if y'all ain't peeped that.
Did he?
Well, he called us the light. I put the sun, the dawn,
Yeah.
the light of the One Piece world.
Mm-hmm.
Another 5. I don't know if he
Sweet,
said
bro.
all that, but
I made that. I felt what you were saying, and I made that connection for you.
Twilight might be trying to seduce us. I feel seduced right now.
Another 5 from Roberto Figueredo. It says, "Good evening, Larry. Did you wake up to have a tiger in your bathroom?" with a laughing emoji. Hashtag The Hangover Part 1. I got it.
Yeah, we got it. We watched it.
That's a good one, man.
Kinda.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Another Warlord joined the crew in KSG2. Welcome to enjoy all the emojis that come with being a Warlord. Another 5 BGN from Hassan. It says, "Why when I showed my horse a picture of Lawrence, it crashed out and ran away? Now how am I supposed to go to the city and pay my Larry tax?" Where do you live?
Are you riding?
You're riding a horse into
horseback?
the city. Hassan, where you at, man?
You don't got a car? He's like, yo, I got real horsepower.
Yo,
Yeah.
wow, man.
Say gas is expensive, man.
Hey, another 10.
Feeding a horse is expensive.
I was about to say, I don't know that it's cheaper to own a horse than a car.
Nah, it's probably not.
No, it might be.
No.
Have you?
You have to feed a horse every day. You know how much food that is? And then you have to take care of it.
Doctor bills.
I mean,
Yeah.
Then you got to shovel up they poop.
And you can't, like, you know what I'm saying?
yo, but you got car insurance.
What about
Yes.
horse insurance?
Is that?
That's if you want to have insurance. Do you need to have horse insurance?
PETA, right?
Wow.
Immediately.
Listen, you probably do.
course.
You probably do. Need to
Horse
have
insurance is just like animal and health insurance.
but not everybody has like pet insurance on their dogs, right?
Yeah, but they're not full blown. Like, you
Am
can't.
I tripping? Like maybe I'm tripping.
No, so it's a different animal.
I feel
right?
you.
So like if you put like a horse on your property, you get tax reduction. If you get a dog, it doesn't matter. They don't need land.
So you're saying you could write off the horse?
You could write off on the horse, yeah.
So you get it's less money.
But you can't do that with a dog.
But I'm saying you're talking about expenses. I'm talking about the horse apparently is even cheaper than I thought.
No, but it's a horse.
You can't say it's a horse as if that proves your point as to how expensive it is to have it.
Well, it's the feeding. You're gonna have to feed a horse, bro.
But if you think about it,
I don't know if they feed
paying
horses.
thousands of dollars for the car.
I'm saying cars can be as high as $30K plus insurance.
How much you think a horse is?
I don't know. I've never looked into buying a horse.
Horses go from like $10K up to like $1 million.
How much research have you done on this?
I just have common knowledge of horse activity.
Hey man,
I'm serious.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nah, why
is
is
it?
that the first thing that?
How much is horse semen?
That's
the way you would make your money.
Yo,
I'm serious.
I'm so confused.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
You would extract horse semen and then sell it off,
hold
and
on.
that's how you would make money.
Hold on.
I'm telling you.
Younger horses may be less expensive, but need more training, while older, well-trained horses command a higher price. Well-trained horses suitable for racing can cost between $1,500 and $5,000. That's nothing compared to a car.
You do know that that's just racing?
That's
and that's just like regular horse. My boy is going from wherever he's going to New York.
He said the city. I don't know where he lives. The city can mean whatever it means to him.
So you think in New York they're gonna sell a horse for $1,500 to $5,000? You are insane.
Hassan did not say he was in New York. I don't know where Hassan lives. The city can mean the town over. I don't know what he means by that.
Chill, bro.
I mean,
All right, you're taking it way too long. Number 10 from Ian Butler. Whitebeard told Squad, "You can't judge a son for the actions of his father." At the time, this referred to Ace. Think Whitebeard also meant Blackbeard too. Hashtag bang bang bombastic buggy gang. We're gonna get into that later, I assume. But I would say personally, it's a blanket statement for Whitebeard in general. It's just a belief of his.
yeah.
He was referring to Ace with Squad. The statement applied to any one of the sons on the crew, in my opinion. So
Yeah. I agree.
Number 2 from BBL Jonas. Okay. Good top ain't free. Remember your hashtag Larry tags. Thank you, Jonas. Another 5 Canadian from D-B. So where are we ranking King Harald in the best dads of One Piece? I guess we can get into that later.
King Harald?
Yeah, it's kind of early, but he seems like a pretty good dad, right? He just don't be around enough, in my opinion. But
Yeah, he's not taking care of, in a way, his fatherly duties, but he's taking care of, like, every other duty.
yeah,
Aside for, like, the home arrangement.
yeah. I mean, he not exactly absentee. He just not around a lot. Right?
Judge a better father, bro.
Oh my. Okay.
Judge a better father, bro. Judge was there, bro.
Larry on his ish again, man.
Judge was there, bro.
Being there ain't enough. It's not like that's the bare minimum, and I know that Harold technically ain't doing that part of it, but like being there is not making
How
you a good
many
father.
of Judge's kids try to like off themselves?
All right, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
That's what I'm saying.
I get you.
If bro was there a little bit more often,
Well,
maybe
in
his
that-
child wouldn't have jumped from the sun world.
But in that defense, though, we're going to get into it, but it's not like Harry doesn't show love when he actually is there around them. He actually shows love.
Damn,
Larry's
yo.
point is that's not enough.
But also, too,
Damn,
just not-
yo.
Judge-
Judge's kids are legit programmed that even if they wanted to,
Right.
they can't even
They're
feel
not
that.
allowed to feel emotions that can get them that
Yeah.
that
King
dark.
Harold basically
And
goes,
the one kid that can, he actively pushes towards that kind of action, like on a daily basis.
King Harold basically goes, "Hey, I'm here to pick up my son." Takes his son, picks him up, puts him back down, and goes, "I'm gonna be here next Saturday."
Pick him up again.
Pick him up again, and just leave.
Oh man,
That's what King Harold does, bro. and y'all giving him props. No, bro.
I'm not saying he's a great dad. They said best dads. I don't think he's
got
there.
Loki, when you say that, probably crashed out because his father's like passing. Where Sanji Loki trying to fight his dad because of how he treated him.
At least he can fight his dad. Right? You got Ida and Harald living in the slums.
They're not in the slums
of the Elbaf villages.
Not in the slums, bro.
Bro,
she has her whole business. She has her own business that she's running.
He didn't even pick up Harald.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm saying?
He was protecting Harald and the mom.
Listen, bro, he protected Ida.
He protected Harald.
He said, "Hey man,
what are you talking about?
Don't touch my side chick.
Go look at the chapter.
Don't touch my side chick.
You're gonna sacrifice both of them.
I'm telling you, bro.
God, man. They came in to get Harald.
He ain't top 5 good fathers, bro.
That's fine. That's fine.
Nah.
That is a fine. But you bet not be saying judges.
Judge, bro.
Okay.
He ain't. Judge is not even top 20.
Guess what? Outlook the third too over him, bro. Sabo's dad, better father, bro.
All right, man. We got another warlord join the ship in Jeremy Hagler. Enjoy the emojis that come with being a warlord. Another 2 from Project Iceman. Looking forward to the theory crafting today. Thank you. Another 2 from Luis Lopez. Loki for saddest backstory. We ain't there yet. It's sad, but we ain't there yet.
Yeah.
It's a little early.
I'm not saying he's beating out Kumas or Laws, really.
Yeah. 6:20, guys. We're gonna start the chat.
Yeah. Another 5 from Dom the God. I'm available for the stream, but I need to save this for work with crying emojis. Yeah, man. Whatever works, whatever time you need to be on, bro.
Yeah, and it'll be timestamped later. So
another 2 from Alan Wells. Elbaf is going stupid with the reveals. I agree.
Yeah, it's really good.
We got another 10 gifted memberships
Firearms!
from Firearms. So
Our
thank
boy, thank you for the 10 top gifted. Please, everybody who received something, say thank you.
Yeah. And then we got another 10 from Wade the Asian. It says this chapter was a banger. Larry was wilding last night in the stream. LMAO. Hashtag pumping in Whitebeard. Hashtag Lionel the part-timer. Hashtag Law the business partner. Hashtag Seb the cool uncle. Hashtag intro getting better. Fire emoji. Thank you, Wade.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The pumper.
Another 20 from Red Gamer. It says, yo, what's going on, TOPT? Hope y'all are having a great day. Is there any way that any of y'all are wanting to see Haki used in a story that hasn't been done yet? Keep up the fire work with a flame and praying emoji. Like Haki utilization in a way that we haven't seen?
Yeah, I want to see somebody like flex Haki and the ground breaks underneath them. Because like Shanks was able to break Whitebeard's Moby Dick. Pause.
Nah,
the ship.
You good, bro.
Nah, some people are gonna be like, "Hey, yo,
you enunciate Moby well enough. You good?
Yeah.
Bro.
Like that's the only time we've seen besides clashing that the outside environment has broken. So I want to see that. Like, imagine like, I hope Rox does this, bro. Like he just walks, and like he's just in front of Harald, and he just, and like the ground under him breaks. Yo. Y'all didn't see Naruto Shippuden at the very end, but you saw when Hashirama came back with Tobirama.
When they were first raised up?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hashirama, he used Conqueror's Haki for a second.
Yeah.
I remember that.
All right. He broke the ground around him while he looked at Tobirama and was like, yo, chill. Put your finger down.
Put the hand sides up.
Yeah. Everybody was like, everybody was like, yo, chill.
It was wild. That would be cool.
You had Suigetsu like dripping.
But do we not have that with Shanks? I mean, it's not the ground, but like the Moby Dick is like a ship that can sail through the New World and withstand like Whitebeard.
But it was just like,
it was
like the railing, you know, like it was the railings that crack. I'm saying like the ground and like the walls, like just crack.
Do you have one, Lawrence?
That would be
because I have one that's wild, but it don't make sense. So I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I do. To me, I've said it before. Like we're getting a little bit more tips toes into it. Where like for example, if you want to believe that Divine Departure is pure Haki based, so I kind of want to see like. Haki used almost like a blast in a way.
Okay.
Like, you know, you
like a key blast? Like a Kamehameha wave of straight Haki?
Yeah.
I mean, Yamato kind of did it in the anime against Kaido.
A little bit, yeah. Mine is... All right, so this is going to be a lot, and it's going to sound stupid, right? And I don't think Oda would ever do this. But you know how people get knocked out when people use Conqueror's Haki? What if you could kill somebody?
What do you mean?
Like, I flex my Conqueror's Haki to a degree that you can't take it and you die. Is that too much?
That's too much.
Is that too much?
Nah,
I thought about
that's
that.
too much. That's too much, bro.
It's too much?
Yeah, that's too much.
That's probably too much.
Yeah,
that's
too
like
much.
fanfic level.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's way too much.
All right, it's 6:20 though, so we'll get back to super chats, guys. But we got to get into the chapter. So
Yeah, we're gonna get back to the super chats. So please, if you sent a super chat, do not worry. We're going to read it after each section of the chapter. This is a podcast, so if you're not used to this, this is what happens on TOPT. All right, so thank you so much for the super chats first and foremost, because we don't expect you to send them, but we appreciate that you do. But it's gonna happen organically, okay? So we're gonna get into the chapter now. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. It does us wonders. But anyway, let's get it. All right. Fair warning. There's a lot of dialogue in this chapter, so if I happen to be speaking for a little bit, just bear with me until it's like done. All right? I tried to concise it the best way I could, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. All right? So, you guys ready?
yeah,
All right, let's get it. Today's chapter is titled Can't Even Pass Away. We return to Yamato's pilgrimage in the cover story, where the caption reads, "Go pay your respects at the grave of the hero, born in the West Blue and raised in Ringo." On the cover, Yamato arrives at a grave with Page 1, Boss Ocho, Ulti, Kiku, and... yeah, that's everybody. Anyway, Ulti is shown making a huge snowball, and Boss Ocho points to the gravesite they should pay their respects to. So, we'll start with Seb. What are your thoughts on this week's cover story, bro?
I don't have too much. I actually did think it was kind of cute with Ulti rolling the snowman or snowball or whatever she's trying to do with that. I was wondering about whose grave that could be. Is it Ryuma? Because I was under the impression Ryuma was from Wano, but it's very possible that he's not, and that he was like raised there after traveling there at some point as a young kid. He was seen traveling outside of Wano for a time, and I don't remember if he was from Ringo or not. I think he was, or at least they said that he was around Ringo, or his grave was in Ringo, so it's very possible it's just Ryuma. I was trying to think of other possible candidates. My mind started really wandering. I was thinking about Shiki, because we see later, he seems to be wearing a Wano getup later in the story, in this chapter. In general, like, that lady, Haguma, or whatever her name was, she had a Shiki, like, she changed her face into Shiki, and she was from Wano, seemingly. So I'm like, is it possible we're getting like some little mini Shiki thing here? I'm like, probably not. I started looking into like Fujitora's backstory to see if it's potentially even him, and like maybe he faked his death or something. He was apparently born in the Grand Line somewhere, so not West Blue. So my best bet is Ryuma's grave. But that's really all I had. It's a return to form a little bit for me to be interested in what's happening, though.
Yeah.
I'll say that. So,
all right. Law?
Yeah, I didn't think of Ryuma's grave. I actually thought of I don't know if it made sense. I thought of the fox. Only because of all the swords that are around that spot. And I know that there was a place that he was protecting, and he would take, for example, when he took Enma from Zoro, he returned to a spot, and you see a bunch of swords around him, like when he was collecting them. Obviously, it was for the Great War against Kaido, right? But seeing swords planted here reminded me of that, because there was a little hut that he would put the swords in, or whatever. So I thought of the fox, or maybe the fox's like parent or whatever. But that's all I didn't really take time to go deeper into it, but that's what I thought of. I forgot the fox's name. Onimaru, yeah. So that's who I thought of. But that's about it.
All right. I had a little bit of thoughts, different from yesterday. So I believe the gravesite that Yamato and the crew are about to visit might belong to Shimotsuki Ryuma. There's compelling evidence to support this idea. During his lifetime, Ryuma was celebrated throughout Wano as the samurai who defended the country from foreign invaders, including pirates and assailants sent from the world nobles. At that time, Wano was famously known as the country of gold, right? Even to this day, Ryuma is remembered as the greatest hero of Wano, which aligns perfectly with the hero reference that Boss Ocho had made. Then there's the location itself, Ringo, when Ryuma died at the age of 47 from like an undisclosed illness, he was buried in the Northern Cemetery in Ringo alongside with his Black Blade Shusui, right? This matches the second clue, which was stated. The final detail is the state of the cemetery. It's seen as being destroyed, littered with swords, as if it had been ravaged during a battle. Interestingly, 23 years before the start of the series, a major battle took place in Ringo between the Gecko Pirates, who's led by Gecko Moria, and the Beast Pirates, who's led by Kaido. After that battle, Moria desecrated Ryuma's grave and stole both his corpse and Shusui. So I believe that's his grave for sure, because it all points to it. However, there is one inconsistency that Sebastian pointed out. Ryuma was never explicitly stated to have been born outside of Wano. Mm-hmm. In fact, Wano strictly enforced an isolationism policy and was revered throughout all the people that lived there that if you left the country, it was considered a crime. If it turns out that Ryuma was actually born elsewhere, that would suggest he was an immigrant to Wano. A surprising revelation that would add a whole new layer to his legend, honestly, if you think about it. But it does bring up the fact, like, why would he have clothes from there too? Like, who brought him to Wano, if that is true? Yeah. And he was born in the West Blue, and Zoro was born in the East Blue.
Yeah. And then even the Shimotsuki that left and started the Windmill Village, I think, or whatever village that Zoro was from.
The Shimotsuki Village.
Yeah, Shimotsuki Village. It's like, that's well after Ryuma's.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like by hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I don't know. I do think it's Ryuma though.
But it also says raised in Rindo.
Yeah, you could go if you were born in Florida, but then like by 7 you moved to Jersey, and then you're raised you'd be raised in Jersey. You know what I mean?
No, I just like I'm going by if it is Ryuma, right? It could be, but when we see him traveling, say that's before he founded Wano or how whatever. I don't know if he built the country of Wano, helped build it, or he founded the nation, and then him and his people resided there. I don't really know. But he was fairly grown when we saw him traveling. Mm. You know, you're not really raised at this point. It's like you came there as a grown man.
He probably just left. Because he's not an actual relative to Wano, he was probably allowed to like go in and leave whenever he wanted. Mm. But if you were a Wano, like, if you're born in Wano country, then you just can't do that.
I mean, yeah, even beyond that, look at Harald. In this chapter and others, like, he leaves his country all the time. He still looked at that as a great king and a great hero of Elbaf, right? So as long as you're doing your duty when you need it to be done, like in the country, which Ryuma apparently has, you could leave and come back, especially if you're not from there. Like, bro, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's probably Oda's way of retconning the fact that Ryuma don't be on the island. Like, he's not from Wano. He's not adherent to these laws that everybody else is. So I don't know. Maybe that's me thinking too deep, but it's possible.
Who made Shusui?
Oh, it's not. Is it? No, it's not. No, it can't be.
We never got the maker of Shusui.
We never got it, right?
Of Ryuma's sword, right?
Those is Lionel questions, man.
No, because it can't be anyone we know because Ryuma's like so far back, right?
Okay, so
yeah.
This even adds a little bit more to the legend because remember the Kitetsu class of swords, the Shodai Kitetsu, which is the first one, we never got the creator's name, but it's highly considered that it's from a Kozuki member that was a blacksmith, okay? The Nidai Kitetsu, which is the one that Zoro has, right? That sword, no, he doesn't have that sword. Does he have? No, I forgot. But anyway, that's besides the point. The Nidai Kitetsu was actually made by the guy that Zoro ran into that was on the Shimotsuki village. Mm-hmm. So he made that sword. So it's not impossible to say, like, there's another person who made Shusui in the West Blue that was a part of, like, Wano. We just haven't been related that information. Mm-hmm. And Shusui happened to be part of these graded swords, right? The 21 graded swords. Because the guy who made the Nidai Kitetsu, he happened to be... that sword became part of the 21 great swords. Yeah. So it's like, that could amount, bro. Like, I could see the connection being there now. It's just, are we happy or satisfied that Ryuma is not born in Wano?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it changes the legend. What it does is, like I said, it's Oda's way of allowing him to be able to leave and not have to adhere to that.
Yeah.
Like we're an isolationist nation. Like he can roam free. He's technically not. He's like a citizen, but like granted citizenship.
Yeah.
But also too, we don't know how far back those laws of
true, too.
Wano took place, where like the restriction of like not leaving your secluded place happened because there were the city of gold, and apparently a lot of people were able to approach it. Why Ryuma had to defend it?
True, but there's also Momo has his the diary or journal of Odin that he read, and based off reading that, he was like, oh, I can't open the borders yet. So, something that happened way back.
Yeah.
At least maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but something that happened way back caused the borders to be closed, and then at a certain time they need to be open.
Yeah.
Like something that happened 800 plus years ago determined that the closing needed to happen. At least that maybe my understanding of what Momo read or how they portrayed that is wrong, but
Yeah.
Oh, it could be. It could have been a more recent law than Ryuma, but that's just my thought on it.
And going back to the sword thing, because we all know, like for example, the samurai-ship or swordsmanship, and even like that craftsmanship of being a blacksmith, usually runs tradition in the family. So it could be, for all we know, like his great ancestors, right, is the ones that created Ryuma's sword. And they just continued making swords through that family line, like teaching that craft to the point where that person that Zoro met on that village, on his own village, is from that family line that was a line of just creating swords. Yeah. Because obviously they usually pass that down to generation to generation to generation.
Well, if this chapter tells you anything, family lines are very important. But we'll get into it in a little bit.
Yeah, but I've always said that. All right, but yeah, I mean, that's the most interested I've ever been during this cover story. Like, it generally brought some question out of me. I was like, yo, I'm actually excited to learn who this is next cover story. Because that's going to be... If it's not him, I did have others that I thought would make it interesting. All right, so I was like, yo, but if I was to wander to the possibility that this grave might be, like, belong to someone else entirely, if we allow ourselves to think outside the box, yo, it could even be the grave of Saint Ethan Baron Venus Juro, bro. There are some intriguing hints that support this idea, like his clothing features strong Wano-like properties. He wields the Shodai Kitetsu, which is the oldest Kitetsu sword, which is probably like centuries ago. It's most likely before or during the time of Ryuma. Like, also, and he polishes it with a Yuchiko ball. It's like a silk ball. And that's very Wano-like, and all details deeply tied to Wano sword culture. Additionally, his name includes Judo, which resonates with traditional Wano naming conventions. And since we don't know the true ages of the Gorosei, who may have received some form of immortality from Imu, it's possible that Venus Juro could have just faked his death and decided to leave Tamari Joa.
I feel like I like that better than the Ryuma one, just because it's outside the box thinking.
Yeah, and I did tell you that I believe the Venus Juros at one point happened to be, they ruled over, what was the lawless nation? Udon? No, not Udon. The one that Odin.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember.
Yeah, I forgot the name. I don't know how I forgot the name.
Wait, Odin's clan?
No, where Odin ended up being the daimyo of.
No.
Kuri.
There you go.
I'm like tripping.
Yo, there's a lot of names, my bad.
I'm like,
so Kuri itself was lawless for a minute.
Yeah.
And I said at one point on the pod that Kuri might have not been lawless at all. Kuri might have been owned by one of the reigning families that happened to leave Wano to become basically celestial dragons. And I said because they were labeled as the country of gold, each clan might have had a specific purpose for Wano, but this clan specifically was in the financial aspects of Wano itself. And during that time, they handled all money, right? And then when you look at, like, I forgot what Ethan Barron is the god hand of.
He's the god of finance.
He's the god hand of finance. So it's like, yo, maybe that's how their family dealt with Kuri and Wano overall and made them the country of gold, because how did they lose it? Because the country of gold stayed with them because during the Void Century, they already had the walls built up. Like, old Wano was gone already. So it's like, maybe that's during the time they faked their death, and he was like, yo, he was the hero. And then we find out later that Venus Juro is actually a celestial dragon.
I would love it.
And then their name is erased from history because they no longer reside there the same way, Doflamingo and Don Quixote.
What it would also do is, because I always try to tie it back to other people or whatever else is happening, like, have the other celestial, like, Gorosei members had to fake their deaths and, like, you know what I mean? In that same vein, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, that was one thing I had on my mind, and then I said to myself, well, there is one other person. I was like, or it could be the man revealed at the end of the chapter, which may be even crazier, opening the door to an entirely new wave of theories. Man. But I won't spoil who that is just yet, since we haven't gotten there. But that would be crazy too. But that's really off. That's off the pier. Like, I'm literally jumping off. So, yeah. But that's all I had to say.
Shout out to the cover chat.
Cover story for being interesting for once. But yeah, guys, we're gonna read super chats for about 10 minutes, and then we'll jump right back into the chat.
Yep. All right, we got another Warlord join the coup, KSG2. We got another 50 from Dopey 420. It says, I ain't gonna lie, Rocks look like the type to have all the Latinas. Lord Larry might have some competition. And what's y'all's opinion on Rocks being Blackbeard's dad? Is Blackbeard working out a plan his dad left before he was off it? Hashtag Larry Tex. Thank you so much for the 50. We kind of try to structure this where we don't speak on the events of the chapter until we get to them in the review. But we have a lot of thoughts, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think you would be more satisfied if you waited for that part of the chat, because we're going to give you full-blown details of all of our thoughts. So if it's possible, just wait, and we'll definitely answer it. So thank you for the 50, though. That's a huge dono. But we're going to answer it in full. If we answer it now, you're going to get something like that's not worth 50. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just wait on it. Wait on us.
We got another 5 from Zach the Goat. It says, was there ever a point where Sanji was stronger than Zoro? Also, Zoro over Odin? No.
No.
And no. Not yet.
Not yet.
Another 5 from Israel Fressy Music. It says, it's me, the guy that did the music for the new intro.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Much love from Jersey, fellas.
Hey, much love,
Crazy
man.
chapter. Much love. Thank you, man.
Much love to you,
Love the intro. We get so many compliments on it.
Yeah, continuously, like every time. Yeah. Even people who just see it for the first time.
Yeah. Another 5 from Alex Perez. It says, the way Zebek cut that mountain was like Law's OP no Mi. Could he have been the previous owner and maybe even took over Blackbeard's body using the OP no Mi?
Again, this is a question you're going to have to wait for. End of the chapter, we're going to answer these questions fully. I think you're going to be very satisfied. So please wait.
Yeah. We got another 20 from Mikey D. Luffy. It says, Lair Bear off the schnoz last night. Really enjoyed that stream and Seb's brief collab. Yo, Lawrence, this dude called me while he was streaming yesterday. It was a good time, man. Do you think Rock somehow used the OVOV to implant his soul to Blackbeard? That's why he has multiple personalities and can use multiple devil fruits. As Larry just said, we can get into that stuff a little later. I personally don't, but we'll get into that stuff
I don't
later.
Believe in the multiple personality theory. So
sometimes you just have a kid. Sometimes. Another 5 from Big Blevins 937. It says, yo, Larry, we're tired of the tax, so I paid all my YNs 10,000 berries to switch you down with impact dials. Don't let me see you in Dayton, Ohio. What?
Oh my god. Yo. Tone dials though?
The impact dials.
Yeah, the impact dials.
Boom, bro. That's
they probably gonna be more hurt than I am.
Nah, you gonna be hurt, but they gonna be hurt too.
No, I'm tanking it.
Okay.
I'm tanking it. They gonna get hurt though.
All right, we got another 5 Canadian from D Dash. It says, "Who do you guys think is the strongest character in One Piece that Prime Whitebeard could beat?" We mentioned Kaido earlier. I want to say Shanks. Garp is another good answer.
Garp, I think he could beat Garp. I don't think he beats anybody else above.
There's an answer I want to say to troll, but I won't do it.
Are you gonna say Rocks?
Yeah.
I can already tell there's gonna be a crazy episode at the end, because there's no way you get told what you get told at the end of the chapter and you go, Whitebeard beats Rocks. Just stop,
dude was young, man. Laura, do you have an answer?
Bro.
You said Prime. They said Prime
Whitebeard. Prime. That what we see wasn't Prime. What?
We seen his prime. He couldn't beat Roger, and apparently he got scarred by Garling. So. I mean, if we want to keep going with the Whitebeard, I'm not trying to disrespect the GOAT.
Listen, bro.
But I'm not going to have you disrespect another GOAT to push your fake agenda.
It's not fake, man.
Okay.
So one of them was called the world's strongest man.
Who cares? Titles never mattered like that. If titles really mattered, then we would go by titles all the time.
Hey, man. Titles matter a little bit.
Damn, yo. Wikipedia said this is the title, so you got to agree with it. No. You got to go by context and research.
Context and research tells you that one of them continued pirating for another 30 years and the other one has passed on. One of them.
You're just saying so.
What do you mean? It's true.
You're just saying so. Damn, yo, I'm wearing a red hat and you're just wearing a chain.
Hold on.
Like, what does that even mean? You're not saying anything.
No, I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Whitebeard continued to grow stronger after Rocks was gone. Is that true or not true?
That don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing. Okay.
No, it don't mean nothing.
All right, man.
Because you can still grow stronger and still be weaker than the person that got taken out.
It's very possible.
But
I'm not saying what I'm saying is facts.
I love how you always try to be like, hey, because somebody took a loss, the other person who decided to keep pirating and clearly hadn't taken any W's.
He didn't take any L's either.
From what we know of, right?
He didn't take any L's either.
Didn't take any W's.
No L's
is
either.
Somehow stronger than the person who took an L, even though that person was considered stronger than that person.
At that time. At that time.
Again, who cares? You can easily say, yo, this person, even at their peak, was still stronger than this person who got to their peak later on in life.
Sure. And I'm saying you could say the opposite. Both things, one can be true, the other can be true. Yeah. You're speaking in definitives about one potential truth. Mm-hmm. This the difference. It's always been different. I don't speak in definitives about things I don't have definitive answers to. Prime Whitebeard.
So you just speak.
I'm saying all things are possible.
Listen, man. I saw what one person who went up against an admiral couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So.
Who? What are you talking about?
Keep going, bro.
All right. Oh my God,
keep going, bro. We're gonna get into it.
All right. Mm-hmm. Laura, do you have anything you want to say?
You guys said some good names. I mean, because I think you could add other people, but then who's higher or this thing mentioning lower doesn't really matter.
True.
You know, like so the thing you guys mentioned, Garp, you mentioned Shanks, you mentioned Kaido. So I think those are good shout outs there. And to me, they're also arguable.
Right.
You know, like I believe those fights at their prime. You know, they could go either way. Like, to me, Shanks is not even in his prime yet. He's only 39. Like, he's literally the age of Roger when he fought Rocks, right? At God Valley. So, Shanks, to me, still has room to grow. Garp Prime versus Whitebeard Prime, that's a crazy fight. And Kaido Prime versus Whitebeard, that's another one. So, besides from them, you could throw out Sengoku and stuff like that. But, again, these are around the same level. So, but yeah.
Listen, man, all I know... One person got a bounty. The other one had to be forgotten.
That's fair.
The taboo.
That's all fair.
The taboo.
Let's do one more and then let's go into the chat.
All right, we got another 2 from Julian Brown. It says Dragon is the man with the burn scar from Akainu.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nah, dog.
From Akainu?
Where he got it on? Where he got it on his back? His butt cheek? Like, where is it? We've seen his face.
And we've seen. Like, everyone at this point, they say they can't figure out who the man with the burn scar is. We know what dragon is, and everyone knows what he looks like. You know what I'm saying?
From one side of the face, though.
Yeah, like from the Wanted poster. So they're like,
because he always looked at
but yeah, so no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the chat. Guys, we will read the rest of the super chats. Please be patient. Also, thank you. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video to support. But we're going to jump right into the chapter. All right? All right. Let's get it. All right, so the chapter opens up with us still in King Harald's flashback. But this time, it takes place 63 years ago. We begin by recapping how, as a child, Big Mom wiped out half of a giant village and murdered Beardfall Yorul. That same year, Elbaf was struck by a series of natural disasters that led to widespread famine, as their fertile land was devastated. Estrid, refusing to leave her bed, screams at her guard that these disasters are happening because of that child, referring to Loki. She blames the turmoil on their refusal to heed her warning to end Loki's life, insisting they're now paying the price. The guard, however, believes it's mere coincidence, and it's not Loki's doing. Disgusted, Estrid can't believe he dares to disagree with her. Suddenly, baby Loki crashes through the door with a big smile. Estrid panics, horrified that Loki is staring at her. While the guard rushes to comfort Loki, Estrid shouts for them to get him out immediately, declaring she never wants that monster near her again. As the guards take Loki away and he starts to cry, Estrid orders them to put out his eyes, claiming that if they don't, the country will remain cursed and ruined. Meanwhile, across Elbaf, giants are shown starving. Some argue that they should raid human settlements for food, while others insist it would betray their pride. Villages begin attacking one another for resources. Narration explains that civil wars are not uncommon in Elbaf, but this time, driven by hunger, the conflict grew more brutal and many died, plunging the country into chaos. Rumors began to spread that these disasters were the result of Loki's curse. As fear and despair took hold, we see a young Haruden with his mother, Ida. Suddenly, a crazed giant storms into their village, blaming Loki for Elbaf's suffering. He decides that Haruden must be sacrificed to lift the curse. Ida stands in the way, declaring that her son Haruden is the sweetest, most adorable boy in the world. He must live to become the oldest boy in the world. Enraged, the giant grabs Ida by the neck and is about to strike her down with an axe, accusing her of seducing Harald despite being an outsider. Ida defiantly tells him to shut up, declaring that love knows no borders. What a bar. At that moment, Haruden picks up a sword to protect his mother, but suddenly, a massive fist crashes down. It's Harald's. He smashes the giant, attacking his family, completely crushing him. Haruden cries out for his father, and Ida calls out to Harald in relief. Harald then turns to his people and demands to know why they have turned on each other. The moment he learned of Loki's existence, he also learned that Elbaf was starving. Seeking help, he reached out to other countries, and they responded without hesitation. Harald reveals that piles of food are on their way, urging his people to be grateful for this aid. We then see ships arriving to rescue Elbaf, bringing food and relief. Harald tells his people that whenever their allies need help, they should offer it freely in return. He reminds them that the world they know is much smaller than the true vast world beyond their borders. So, gentlemen, specifically Law, what did you think about the beginning of this chapter, bro?
Them coming back to Big Mom and her terror, it made me laugh. But to me, it just brought out to, like Lana always says it, why the timeline in One Piece is important, how much you got to pay attention to it. Because Oda's kind of pointing out right here, 63 years ago, this exact situation happened in Elbaf where Big Mom did it. So it's showing that while we're getting the timeline, where we're looking at it more fully, it's important because Oda has this timeline set for a reason. The fact that he's remembering all this where he puts this because we got this back at how many chapters or whatever ago, and he's bringing it back now. That's showing the importance of this timeline matches with this in accordance. So the timeline is important. So like when things don't add up in One Piece is because it's not matching the timeline in it, right? And then also too we see Jewel. Is that how you say it? Because there's Ja Rule, then there's Jewel. Yoru, right?
Just say like Yo
Rule, right? Yeah. So to me, it's like I always wondered about like how about these characters like Yoru and Ja Rule, and to me it's like, are they the chieftains of their village, right? Because I think that's how they kind of see me maybe be how they do things, and then as the chieftains, if they're the chieftains in their own village, they would be the ones to like kind of like rule, and why maybe they're even the ones that like that would point to the king that you have to marry, that. So is it they will people in charge of the chieftains? Because you see there's a bunch of different villages. I gotta go touch on it more, but we didn't get there yet. About the village aspect, right? So, and going into the famines area, right? So we all see that like right here. What I gotta add, I mentioned baby Loki pushing over that door while creating it had me dying because I thought of I'm back, like and his mom gets freaked out, like
her face was
like before he even pushed over the door, she's like just traumatized, and he's just like smiling, whatever, right?
It's freak off time.
Okay.
It reminded me of
I'm here for the freak off.
It reminded me of how they show like that happens in horror movies. You're so stupid.
So baby, trying to see his mom, man.
Yo, where the baby oil? Looking for the baby oil. But he came in like the Kool-Aid man.
I was gonna touch on that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Like if he said that would be so funny.
Anyway, right? But it goes into like one, how ridiculously strong apparently this ancient giant's blood is.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't see any of the other giants that they don't have that blood doing this. But they're showing that, like, for example, we saw beginning Harald at 15 years old, just a flick of his finger from his own booger is taking out a shark, no problem. Look, he wasn't even trying to do it, he just like flinged it and it took out a shark like a bullet. Right? Or no, for them he's a giant. It was more like probably like a missile or like
cannonball.
A cannonball, that took out it, right? And then you see him, Loki, when he first got thrown off or fell down the mountain, he's like taking off freaking bears' heads just from the weight of his falling, right? And then him gently pushing over the door is flying it open. So showing that these ancient giant bloods certainly go as hard as heck, that they're crazy strong just naturally, right? And so yeah, going to the famine thing, right? So one to bring out is that obviously they're blaming, like, Loki's mom is blaming Loki, saying the curse of all this, right? And we see how severe it is because they're frozen over, and it's that fishing stopped, produce stopped, and everything, right? So I want to know, because I'm trying to tie this because it's around the same time that what Big Mom thing happened, right? I want to know if there's like, is it have to do something what Big Mom caused because, with the ability and fire and everything, or was it, because I'm thinking if Elbaf doesn't naturally go through this, right? Because if you do, you would agree with the reason is obviously not Loki. Because another image says they survived the winter, right? I think when Harald shows up with all the food, they're able to survive the winter, right? But it didn't seem like, it was like this crazy thing or this famine. It didn't mention. It meant the winter. It showed if your winters are normally like this, how could you blame Loki, right? It showed that how heavily influenced they were by the queen or their hardship or whatever, that they just forgot all reason. Because if your normal winters or weathers, this can happen to you, there's no way you blame Loki. But if this is like a random curse where this doesn't happen, and, this dude is born, and then you believe in this curse thing, right? Because you saw how severe it gets later on, is where they're going through much and they're infighting amongst each other. It's like, it has to be the curse to even attack people who have nothing to do with the curse, Ida and Hadruden, right? So, but I also questioned, I wonder if this had to do with, like, environmentally, of what Big Mom did with her ability-wise, with creating that kind of, like, sun and the fire and all that stuff. I wonder if that kind of, because I thought of that, but that's also, like, awakening level, right? But, like, reverse but I don't know if that's too much, playing with the ecosystem. But I don't know, but we know the abilities can do that, but I don't know if it was because her uncontrolled way of it, I don't know. because also Mother Caramel had to step in.
We never knew what happened to Pandora. That was the sun before Prometheus.
Yeah. So so I'm always curious. Like I wonder what caused this severe famine to happen, right? And then so going into like now the villages attacking each other. I didn't realize, because we see it now, how I guess ununited they were, right? Because I'll more about later on. Because what
UNITY,
right? Because now they're trying to privilege, like they thought of privileging other humans, privileging humans, like raiding them. But they also go and turn into like, all right, now it's just
I'm taking advantage,
attacking each village. So that they'll kind of like have their own. Each village is probably like their own island at this point, right?
I don't know why I think this way, bro.
There's something wrong with you, man. But anyway,
it's your man's.
I don't have much more, so yeah. And then Harold's coming out of nowhere and flattening this dude. I thought it was crazy. To me, he might even I don't know, but took him out.
Hopefully.
Because like the way he legit flattened him like that, so I don't even know, right? But then also this is where I'm seeing that here's why they view Harold as such a great king, that he was able to quickly, as soon as he heard word, unite all these humans that he's just befriended to come to their aid. But also what he's teaching his people is that when they need help them freely. Like that teaching right there, it's kind of like more of like a world that, in a way, that you kind of wish that everyone lived in. That when someone's going through something, you could just jump to help them, support them, and then they will do it back without obligation. Is freely. Like, you need help, I'm just here to help, and vice versa.
If not, you're gonna run into that. You got money for fake sunglasses? Where my money, man?
Where my money, man?
Yeah, man.
You got money for fake sunglasses, huh?
You got fake mustaches, huh?
But yeah, I don't have much more.
You ducking me?
I wonder if they know what you're referencing to.
That's pop culture. If you don't get that one, then
yeah, that's Family Guy.
Watch TV.
But yeah, I'm done.
Shanktum said your chain is fake.
It's fake. Hey, man. Hey. Chill out. Yeah, I see it be shining. I know it be shining on y'all. I know it do. I ain't trying to flex, but let's be real. Is it on me?
Yeah.
All right, so a lot to go over here. I do want to say that apparently in Norse mythology, Norse culture, before Ragnarok, there is a harsh winter. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's like Fimbulwinter or something, but it's supposed to be a devastatingly harsh winter period that will see famine, societal breakdown, and it precedes Ragnarok. So when this stuff is happening, if this is in the culture and the belief system of the people that are here, and Elbaf is supposed to be based off of Norse mythology and Norse culture, then when she starts blaming these things on Loki, and it's like, okay, we know the future of of Ragnarok, whenever it comes, is supposed to be preceded by this kind of winter, this kind of famine, this kind of societal breakdown. You see civil wars and things happening. It could be part of the reason why the people were influenced into believing that Loki is the cause of this. Or it could just be Oda tying the two together in a 3D kind of meta way. But I thought that was a dope thing when I was looking up a little bit of research as far as my notes for the chapter.
That is dope. But it's just, I've told people this before, like when you look at Estrid, you can't look at her as like a normal person.
Right.
She's a person of like spirituality.
Right.
So
she believes these things for real.
So like even if this is a normal occurrence, like winter solstice is apparently it happens every year, right? Or whenever it does happen, but it does happen. It just happened to be when Big Mom decided to go crazy during the winter solstice, winter came. And then unfortunately the crops were affected. So she's like, nah, yo, that's Loki's fault, yo. It's Loki's fault that this natural occurrence happened, yo. Even though it happens all the time.
She's just bothered by the eyes. That's it.
Yeah. It's those eyes.
But yeah, beyond that, the Civil War in Elbaf, I would like to linger on that a bit longer, to be honest. And I know we have a lot to get through in the chapter, but I wanted to see some of that. Hopefully it gets well animated and we could like stay a little longer in that. Good old fashioned Viking warfare would be pretty dope. Villages versus village, sides of the country versus other sides. What kind of like political space is there? Like, how do I say this? If Harald's not there, there's so much more we can do with that as far as like people trying to start coups, if they're starting to not believe in Harald. Like, granted, that changes towards the end of, like, in the middle of the chapter, but like during that time frame where people were fighting and dying and going at it, like, they gotta be blaming him a little bit. The king not even here.
King don't care about us.
King don't care about us.
He care about them, though.
I'm not eating.
Yeah, man.
He out here playing house with random strangers, random little people.
We don't even know how to fish.
Yeah.
I might start eating human. He come back, I'm starting to eat human. Human tastes good now. We know what human tastes like. Attack on Titan.
Oh my goodness. This is where it started.
The rumbling has begun.
Yo.
All right?
Oh, man. But things are getting grave. Like, things are getting really crazy in there. Like, people are starting to try to clip kids just because of being connected to the royal family. Like, how do they do nothing? Him and his mom chilling in their house cold like everybody else, starving like everybody else. Dude, barge in talking about, it's your brother's fault, so you gotta pay. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I don't even rock with my brother.
It's your kind's fault.
So,
go back to where you came from.
Shout out to Ida for representing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was a bar from her.
Yeah, man.
Howard, you got to lock in, be a little more aggressive. Your mom get yoked up. You got to jump into action a little early. I know you're young, but you got to swing on dude early. All right.
Yeah,
shout out to Harald for coming through clutch. It's clutch that they live in that town, like in that. I was gonna bring it up later, but in that little
Western Village.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that's the docking area right there where we see Shanks or whatever. Well, I'll get to that in the bar later, but. It's clutch that they're right there. Like, when Harald's coming back, he's able to see them early, see them first. He probably positioned them there purposefully to be like, yo, as soon as I get back, I get to see my son and my girl.
I get to cheat.
They're not there yet.
Are they not there yet? I mean, the thing is, maybe I'm tripping.
You are tripping.
Yeah.
All right.
Because look, if you look at the two people arguing.
Whatever.
She's in a different village right now. Bro.
Is she?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Then, my bad. But either way, Harald's great, man, for being able to bring all these nations together to assist Elbaf with the famine. And we're gonna talk about whether he's doing a good enough job as a father. If he was doing a better job as a father, he probably wouldn't have been able to pull this off. So it's a gift and a curse. It's give and take. It sucks that Loki and Harald didn't have to feel the neglect in this way. But like, if he's there with them consistently, not reaching out to these other nations, not traveling, not creating these connections, they're probably not going to get this assistance from other people. Because you can send emissaries, but when your king is here, creating relationships, creating this dialogue, creating actual connections with other royalty, other decision makers, other people who run kingdoms, you can get this kind of assistance from other nations. So
this is how like LeBron's kids feel.
Hey, man.
But LeBron was a better father than Harald.
I'll tell you.
Because I've seen him actually spend time with his kids.
Bro,
all right?
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
You watch your kids the past, they not eating. I made it so they can eat, bro. But to me...
He could have took Loki. He could have took Loki, Haruden with them.
You can have that.
We've seen kids on the ship. You strong enough. You're not going anywhere dangerous.
Kid get assassinated.
How many times you wanted your dad to go to work with him, man? Just to spend time with your daddy. And he said, nah.
Not much. I didn't know what my dad was doing, man. He worked nights. Trying to sleep, man. I'm playing outside tomorrow.
You just go with your dad to work and all of a sudden he's just smacking women because he's secretly a pimp. You're just like, okay, I didn't know this was happening.
What the heck?
Yo, imagine.
What's wrong? Yo, I did used to think Dad was a pimp, though. I did. I thought he was a pimp, an assassin. We didn't know what he was doing. Remember? We used to ask him about what he
Why
was
you
doing.
set out late at night? You would come back for hours.
He worked nights. He was very dodgy when we asked him about what he did and how he made his money and how much money he made. Very dodgy. And he had that swag about him. I thought he was pimping, man. I thought he was pimping. And I was terrified of him, so I thought he might be a killer. So it was all possible. Then I did go to his job once, and I was like, oh, okay.
Damn, this is boring as hell.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's just not. Anyway. Anyway, shout out to Harald for being able to call up upon all those countries. It is wild how much influence Estrad had, and I just feel bad for baby Loki, man. Like, he's just a baby. Like, he made it back, and the mom's still just like, nah, like, get away from me. So, and then we'll get more into that later, but that's it for me.
I think bad moms are way worse than bad dads.
It depends on what you're doing, bro.
I think it's opinionated, and also it depends on, like, what sex you are.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, yeah, bro. Like, a bad mom is really bad, bro. Like, you could deal with a bad dad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you could deal with a bad mom.
It really just depends on what they do.
Because that's where you get,
bro.
like, the comfort. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's your safe zone, right?
What are they doing?
Especially for a guy.
It depends on what they doing to you, bro. Because I'll tell you right now, as far as bad dads go, like, or bad parents.
Please don't start trauma dumping if you have
I'm not. I was gonna we'll use One Piece correlations here.
Yeah.
I'd rather have one of the bad dads like Judge or like Outlook than have Big Mom as a mom. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they're all abusive. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying that, that's what I'm saying. It depends on what you're doing to me on a day-to-day basis.
I think you just wouldn't want Big Mom as your mom because she out here just hoeing 24/7, and you don't want that in your mom. You know what I'm saying? At least Outlook and like Judge, relatively, they're with one woman. You know what I'm saying? They just want you to follow their agenda.
I can't, bro.
And when you don't do that and you want to have a mind of your own, they start beating on you. So I understand that. But Big Mom is like having an OnlyFans mom.
No, it's not.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, it's not, but I get you.
Instead of doing it for money, she's doing it for, like, power. You know what I'm saying? So your mom has always been pregnant the whole time you've been alive.
She do be
all
pregnant
these different men coming through the house.
She be pregnant a lot.
And they going, and you start naming them, like, next. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even call them by their name. Like, Jeff. It's like, nah, what's up, next? And he's like, why are you calling me next? The next thing you know, he's out of the door and there's some other guy.
I hope Kat and them wasn't dealing with that for real. But
yeah, bro.
It probably was. They said Big Mom is Nick Cannon.
Nah, she Lily Phillips. But no, she Bonnie Blue.
No,
I don't know who that is.
You know what's crazy, though?
The chick that slept with 1,000 men in a day.
Damn. She ain't do all that. Big Mom ain't do all that. I don't think. I hope
no,
not.
she was actually marrying these people.
Yeah, bro. That doesn't push her political agenda at all.
And you got Struzan in the corner like, yeah, do it this way. And he's just like throwing meat on him because he could like create food.
We gotta move on, bro.
That must have been a crazy freak. She was having freak offs. She was definitely having freak calls. Big Mom was wildin', bro. He said, yo, put the cloud away. Like, it shouldn't be here. She was like, it's hot outside.
Yo, she invited people to tea parties?
Yeah, bro. Nah, bro, it's not tea parties. AKA tea party. And you know what's crazy? If you're invited to her freak offs and you say no, she's gonna kill you.
She's gonna clip you.
She's gonna clip you. So you got no option but to hit. And you might die just from the actions already, because she, you know what I'm saying? She might armament up real quick. You don't know.
Oh, you don't.
She's like, choke me, and you don't have enough strength because you're too strong.
Yeah, you make Lawrence uncomfortable. Man.
You died, bro.
Yo, I'm done, bro. They said a T-Diddy party. The T-Diddy party. All right. Anyway, now for my turn. My bad. So there are a few interesting details I noticed on my second read-through that I completely missed the first time. The first is about the weapons used by the giants. Okay? Traditionally, we've always seen them wield swords, hammers, axes, kanabos, and bows and arrows. But in this scene, there's a village of giants using tridents, or in other words, pitchforks. I don't know if anybody caught that, but that caught my attention immediately, right? So, as we know, the only race outside of the giants known to use tridents are the people of Fishman Island and, of course, Emu, right? If you look closely, one of the giants in the background is even wearing attire that resembles chainmail or fish scales.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
Crazy, right?
I assume these are just like the fishermen like people that they're trying to fish, right? Like you can't just like shoot, you know what I mean? You gotta get in there.
They ain't got no they ain't got no fishing
They jumping
pole.
in there and poking.
Those are usually spears.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So could it be possible that in the distant past, fishermen visited this village and their influence became part of the culture, and even if the giants themselves are unaware of it? And I thought that was really interesting. The next point I wanted to highlight is about the giants and the cold. We know that giants generally don't handle the cold well. Oars, for example, died on a cold island. The clothing worn by the people of Elbaf isn't designed for cold climates, and none of them live in the underworld. Yet, here, we see frozen giants because of the Winter Solstice Festival, right? Or just the winter in general. This led me to think more deeply about the giants we've encountered throughout the series, and I remembered the Yeti Cool Brothers from Punk Hazard.
Mm-hmm.
Could there be a village of fur-covered giants who are able to survive Elbaf's harsh winters? It's fascinating to consider, especially since the Yeti Cool Brothers are even bigger than most giants. So, I wonder, do the Yeti Cool Brothers have ancient giant blood as well, since they're bigger than regular giants?
It was said that they were bigger than regular giants?
Yeah.
They're much bigger than regular giants, bro.
Were they really?
Mm-hmm. Could there... So, yeah. I was just thinking, like, it's funny that we haven't seen the village of these type of giants yet.
So you think they're probably, like, around Istrid's height? Like, not yet, like, Hadrun and Loki, but... You know, because she's way bigger than normal giants. Or you think they're even bigger than Loki's mom?
No, they're probably the same size as Estrid, because Estrid's pretty big. But the Yeti Cool Brothers are huge, bro. They're actually big people, like really big people.
I'm trying to get an actual size on them, but they're big, bro.
I wonder if it's like someone with ancient giant's blood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like no, because then Hadrun. Because that's someone who ancient giant blood, but also. Harold got with a regular giant. Hadrun is like normal sized. It doesn't mean that. I mean, it could affect you differently, babies differently.
But it's starting to. I'm starting to think that ancient giant blood. I'm starting to see like maybe there's different genetics that come with it. Like the general consensus is like you're stronger, you're bigger, you most likely have horns, whatever. Mm-hmm. But what if ancient giant blood technically is like you're bestowed a bunch of genetic defects, but they happen to be like individual differences of strength, right? Like Loki has these eyes. We don't know what the eyes really mean, but it's considered like, you know, a defect in a way. But what if it grants him like something special? But if it goes into ancient giant bloods with the Yeti Cool Brothers, then that means that fur covering them is sort of like an ancient giant derivative of whatever the blood might gift you.
Like some evolution.
Yeah, so it just means that you're just gifted something that none of the other giants have that gives you an advantage in some type of climate or just overall like a special power that no others have. So it makes them even more unique. The same way it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm starting to see like maybe that's happening. We've now gotten confirmation that Loki's running gag is that he always breaks doors. We saw him kick someone's face in to enter King Harald's throne room, and now even as a baby he smashes through a door with incredible strength. I actually love this gag. I think it's hilarious.
No more locked doors.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All right, so Lawrence, I wanted to tell you I have a theory regarding Loki's curse. But it's probably going to be, like, not that great. But it's something interesting to think about, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I have a really interesting take on the curse that Loki has supposedly brought upon Elbaf. What if I told you that the negative effects of Elbaf are actually the result of Loki's inability to control his conqueror's Haki? Hear me out.
So he actually is the cause.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, bro.
That's
All
wild.
right, listen. It's a far-fetched theory. It's far-fetched. It's just something to play around with. All right, so we know that when two people clash, right, with Conqueror's Haki, they can affect the weather, right? Even on their own, a strong enough user could blow clouds apart with their presence alone. While we haven't explicitly seen clouds come together because of Haki, I've always thought Big Mom might have been an example. Yes, Zeus and Prometheus was manipulating the weather on Whole Cake Island when she learned Cracker was defeated by Luffy. But I believed her Conqueror's Haki was also in play, even though it's speculative. I tend to think devil fruits have a more direct environmental impact through their awakenings or passive abilities, like how Ace's presence stopped the snow on Drum Island, or how Crocodile's influence caused Alabasta's drought. However, they were both Logia users, while Big Mom is a Paramecia user. I've always believed that Conqueror's Haki allows a user to impose their will not just on people, but potentially on the environment too, depending on their strength and emotional state. Look at Shanks when he arrived on Whitebeard's ship. His Conqueror's Haki was destroying the ship itself, proving you can instill your Conqueror's Haki onto inanimate objects. So, my theory is that the weather disturbances in Elbaf are caused by Loki's overwhelming Conqueror's Haki leaking out uncontrollably. His incredible strength, even as a baby, directly hints at his immense potential. Now that we have his Conqueror's Haki, now that we know he has Conqueror's Haki and has likely been using it to tame animals in the underworld, it makes sense that his inability to fully control it could be unintentionally affecting Elbaf's environment, hence the so-called curse.
I like it and I hate it. Because one, it's crazy hype. Like that would be dope. Like if you can do that, right? We talked about how we can other ways to use Haki. Like if it could really manipulate weather in that way, it would be pretty cool. And we've seen it with like Kaido and Big Mom and stuff. But then Esther was right. You know
I'm trying to tell you, she's not bugging.
Nah, bro, I don't like
she
that.
might not be bugging.
I don't like
she bugging for the wrong reasons.
I don't like the idea that Esther was right, bro. I don't like living in that space.
No, but it's not necessarily that she was right. Because, yeah, he's the cause of it, but it's not because he's cursed. It's more like he just needs training. Mm-hmm. He has this overwhelming power that's leaking out of him that can be controlled, but he doesn't know how to control it because he's a baby, right? So to me, it doesn't necessarily make Esther better because it's like, instead of trying to figure out the cause of it, you immediately just kind of abandon your kid and wonder.
You're right. It makes Harald worse.
No, it doesn't.
I get it. Thank you. You're right, Lawrence.
I mean, I don't know how you hone it into an infant child, but
he understands basic language, and he was out the womb 2 minutes, bro.
Yeah. No, but I think it's very interesting. It actually puts another, like your theory puts more perspective to what Kaido said. Haki above all else, right? And a lot of times we mostly think that's above abilities-wise. Right, but if you think about it, if you compare it to, like you said, all right, Haki obviously can can affect or rule over abilities, right? It can control or tame animals, right? It can it can break or affect even inanimate objects. But also too, we've got it where it's affected the weather. One, you said how it can split the sky, right? And then also too, yes, it's probably a combination of combined with your ability. But you mentioned how Aces, right? Oda said that Ace's Haki was fiery by nature, right? Not his ability, because his ability is fire. His Haki, and he's a conqueror, was fire by nature. But when he showed up to Drum Island, it stopped snowing there for like what, 2 weeks or whatever.
As long as he was there.
As long as he was there, right?
Yeah.
But the whole weather just stopped.
It goes either way. It could go with Haki or it could be his devil fruit.
Right.
But it could also just be both, right?
Yeah.
So those are the variables that we don't have.
Yeah.
We would need like trial and error in order to figure it out.
Yeah. But I think it shows how much Haki like can affect us. Like your will can kind of affect everything in the One Piece world. And that's kind of what you said. It was all I believe it's possible. I believe your Haki possibly can do that, and that's because to me it's like, why is Conquerors such a great threat to people? Why everyone gets so shocked about it? But if you have this level of impact on everything when you're a Conqueror, it makes sense, you know. of what you could do to the world.
This is why Sebastian was like, no, we can't have a bunch of emus and joy boys running around. And he may be right to a degree, but it still feels dope. It's still dope to think like, yeah, there's a couple bad dudes out there doing this, bro.
Can't have there comes
Sebastian like Loki breaking the show.
Yo,
he should have been taken out like Esther said. It's the baby's fault.
Shut that baby up.
Esther was right the entire time. Good mothering. No, I'm joking. That was bad.
Good mothering is crazy.
No, she's terrible, bro. But that's really all I got to say about that part. So yeah, guys, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. We're gonna read some super chats for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna jump right back into the chat.
All right, we got another 1 month at Knockma status from Darth Papa Joe. It says, like everything TOPT, hashtag Sebreturn equals Larry Tax. Thank you. Another 5 from Alex Perez. How far do y'all think the live action One Piece will get? Personally, I think they'll get to Skypiea before the actors start to age out.
I mean,
Sure.
they got a 2-year time skip in the story, right? They could literally last this about like 10 years. Like, come out with a season each year, make it fire, but you're gonna have to extend the episodes.
You're gonna have to shorten the episodes. Is the bigger problem?
Nah,
just cover more.
To cover as much, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you mean extend the runtime?
the runtime of the episode. No,
I was saying, like,
if they're an hour, then let them be an hour, but there needs to be like at least 10 episodes instead of 6 or 8.
like within the
yeah.
That's probably why
you gotta be able to like chill with the episodes.
That's probably why they're jumping. From what I saw, I'm not watching the live action. We sure they're adding a lot into one like arc, you know, like moving along. So that's probably why they're doing it.
Yeah.
We got another 2 from NYC Anime Nerd, our boy. It says that one peak talk.
Aww.
Hashtag taste makers. Hashtag Odin eats Elbaf. Thank you, nerd. Another 2 months at Knockout Status from Lord Franco. It says, "What up, boys? Kaido versus Gabon plus Rayleigh. Who y'all got?" I'm gonna go Gabon and Rayleigh.
Kaido what?
Kaido versus Gabon and Rayleigh. If they're in their prime, I'm gonna go Gabon and Rayleigh. But if they're older, I got Kaido.
I'm stuck on this one.
Okay, Law.
Same with you, because it means like if it's both of them in their prime against Kaido, I got Gabon and Rayleigh. Because it means like they're strong enough to take on. I'm not saying win, but they're strong enough to fight Kaido by himself. Where they'll give Kaido a good fight, where they can possibly even win that fight, right? So both of them, that's going to be too much. And they're prime too. So it's like, yeah.
I want to say Rayleigh and Gabon, but
You can stand on it, bro.
yo, Kaido's a bad man, bro. This is probably the hardest matchup I've ever thought about. I just think that Kaido is just... I still don't think he was going all out, bro. Like, I really don't. And I know Lawrence thinks the same thing. Like, there's just a piece of me, I just know he had more to give, and he just played to his comp. And I feel like if he's going all out to 2 people that have these... You know,
because I think he would give them the respect of going all out.
Yeah, he's not gonna get hit as much.
This is the Pirate King's crew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he's still gonna have the stats in order to compete with both of them. And like, think about it. Even like, yo, he really might have an awakening, dog. And he didn't use it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much. I don't know.
I feel you.
I don't know.
We got another 2 from Matthew Morales. It says, all these theories make me think Rox had an STD. What?
What?
What theories are you hearing?
What nastiness are you talking about?
What made you go with that verse?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Chilling with Funk Flex for some hot butt.
Another 100 SEK from Demesh? I don't know how to say it. It's cut off, but sorry. Larry dropped so many F-bombs yesterday. I think it's safe to say we have the right to say it during the pod, too. Chill out. That was a unique episode. I saw that.
Yeah, it's a reaction, and plus it's hidden behind a paywall. Not many people could watch it.
Was it in the studio?
Yeah, it was in the studio. It's a different look. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a hilarious stream, though. I ain't gonna lie. I tapped in. I normally don't watch Larry's reactions. I had to watch this one.
It was so good.
Yo, it was so... I didn't get to see the whole thing.
I had so much fun.
Bro, Lawrence, when I tell you, Larry's reaction to Rox, I've never seen anything like it. This
my
dude,
boy, bro.
This dude was so shocked. He got up, ran away, started swinging in the air, hyped as heck, right? And then, like, he didn't want to read him talking. He was too nervous to read Rock's talk. I was like, yo, bro.
I was, bro. I respect Roger a lot, but I respect Rocks a lot.
That was so funny to me, bro. Anyway.
You know what it is? I get the same feeling. Like, you know how people were trying to say, like, yo, Shanks ain't really strong. Like, Shanks this, Shanks that. Like, Shanks don't got this. Shanks hasn't done anything. Shanks. But I'm like, yo, but Shanks has clearly done a lot.
Yeah.
Like, he had Haki breaking the ship.
Yeah.
We've never seen that from anybody. That feat alone shows you miles ahead of everybody else.
The way Top Tiers talked about Shanks should have been enough alone. But
And I was like, yo, the fact that the Kaido situation happened, and you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many instances. And then the Green Bull situation happened. I was like, yo, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
All right, so I do that same thing with Rocks. Because Rocks has the feats. He's been shown to do this. And even at the end of the chapter, they say what he's done and to who. And it's like, I already suspected that. You know what I'm saying? But it's through the little context clues of who he is as a rival to Roger. And we'll get into it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like the greatest dude in a show to me. Because I haven't seen anybody with the feats that surmount his. Like anybody. And I know what we're going to get. I'm just waiting on y'all to catch up. So it makes me a little nervous. It's like me and Jordan.
I can't.
It's like me and Jordan, bro.
Treated him like he was Michael Jackson, man. Another 5.
Yo, does he not? Does he not look like little Mike in there?
Man. Imagine he had a glove. Anyway.
Y'all lucky Mike didn't take his shirt off at one point.
Another 5 from Echo 2K Lover. It says, what if it was Shanks and not Shamrock at the meeting with the elders and was telling them about Blackbeard being the son of a certain pirate? Hashtag 10 out of 10 chapter, hashtag BBC. It's possible. I wouldn't like it personally, but it's possible. Like it, you know what I mean? All things are possible till they ain't. So.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think Shanks has any real reason to go to Mary Jo. Like, why tell them? They're not cool.
I don't
They're not
know.
friends.
I don't know that Shanks would know. Right? Like, I think he would know that Blackbeard is the Beck's son. Like, I don't
think
know
Shanks knows a lot more than. I'm not saying that he lets on because we don't know much, but
It's very possible he probably found out from King Harald when they spoke. Or he probably... No, he didn't speak to King Harald. He said he wanted to speak to King Harald. All right, so I'm wrong on that part. I do think that if... It depends, because we've seen Saint Saturn say that Black... We'll get into that, but... If there's knowledge of his lineage, then they would know. And they know Blackbeard's lineage.
We'll get into it later.
So,
But, yeah.
it depends if Garling is allowed that information, because he is a tier lower than the Gorsei.
Yeah, he was, right? Yeah.
If this is like common knowledge, then okay. But it seems like it's a higher up knowledge.
Another 10 from Ace Boogie. It says, started One Piece in 2021. Read daily since Luffy and Kaido split the sky. Lately feeling burnt out. Not excited for new chapters. Stop watching a lot of One Piece YouTube. Looking for help to get my love and joy back. Okay, we get this every now and then, people with One Piece burnout. I would say take a break. There's no problem taking them. There's no issue with you taking breaks. You might get spoiled on some stuff, which will suck, but take a break from it, revisit it. And something I used to do whenever I was getting One Piece fatigue is just rewatch some of my favorite clips from, like, the pre-time skip. So, like, Luffy climbing Drum Kingdom, some of the funny collage moments, things like that I really, really loved that brought me closer to the series. It reminded me of, like, some of the stuff that I really enjoyed when me and Larry used to watch, like, binge watch together, like Sky Island and things. And it just brought my joy back. I never really had as big of One Piece burnout or fatigue as, like, some others have had. I know Larry can probably speak to this a little better. He's even dropped the series at points. I don't remember if you've ever done that, Lawrence, or not took a break, but in general, just go back to looking at the things that made you enjoy it. You don't have as much time in as some other people do, and you've binged a lot of it at one time, considering you started 4 years ago. But for some of the other people, they've spent a lot of time with it.
So he's saying he caught up? Is he caught up?
Seemingly.
Is it like manga or is it anime?
He says reading daily.
Read daily. So one thing that helped to me, And so it's kind of like taking a break. But what I used to do, remember, I would let chapters build.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I would take a break, like for example, of reading the newest chapter, and I would let like 4 come out. So I wait a whole month. Then I would read like 4 in a row, you know? Or I would let maybe a whole arc. Maybe that's too much because, you know, One Piece in their arcs, you know? But I took time where I would take a break for a few weeks, maybe a month or whatever, and I would let a lot of chapters build. I think the most I let was like a 7. And I read in that way. So that helped more because I always used to tell Larry and Sebastian, remember? Granted, this was regards to the anime, but I think it applies the same to the manga. Is that One Piece is at its best when you're watching episode back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
You know? Because you're watching, you know, it can be paced or whatever, but you're watching it all in action run through.
Yeah, because more than any other manga or series that I read, it's a story.
Yeah.
And if you can get a lot of it at one time, it's better.
Yeah.
You seemingly got too much of it at one time with the daily reading.
Yeah.
It's just people are gonna experience the medium differently. So.
As a person who consistently like is always indulging in the One Piece world because of the editing and the constant research and constant performance of like our social media pages. Also, shout out to us. We hit 90K on Instagram.
Hey.
You just got to watch other things, and that's really how you keep up your interest, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, don't watch so many other content creators, because I don't do any of that. But I recently watched Kaiju number 8, and I loved it.
It's so good, right?
I loved it. I have so
good.
much to talk about, and I'm so upset that Lino isn't here.
Yeah, he's supposed
I gotta
to be
watch
here.
it.
Yeah, I was so
gotta
hyped
watch
to
it
talk
too.
to Lino about it.
Yeah,
I think you're really going to like it.
No, for what Lana was talking
It's
about,
great.
When
It's
people
good.
talk about it, like, no, it looks crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's good. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
We got another 35 czar.
let this be the last one, and then we're going to get to the chapter again.
Okay, from OP200, it says, "Hey, what's up, guys? Absolutely love the pod. Who do you think is the strongest Haki user in each Haki type? It can be speculation as well."
Oh, man.
Fujitora in observation Haki, yo. The dude literally blind. Like, literally can't see, but it doesn't affect him in any way.
I'm gonna tell you right now. To me, right now, I got Shanks in observation and Conquers.
Okay.
Are they saying ever or just now?
I want to say he meant ever, but I went with
ever?
now when I
Yeah.
said what I said.
I went with now.
I
went with now.
I say Joy Boy conquers Haki.
It's valid.
Okay. Yeah.
Shanks that we've seen so far, observation. And then armament. I want to say Garp. I think Garp had stronger armament than Roger, but Roger's ability to tap into an armament with Conqueror's Haki made him stronger. The same with Whitebeard.
Maybe. Yeah. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm at that.
Yeah, I don't feel like I could be. That's my best guess. But all right.
Shocked your boy didn't say rocks, but whatever.
No, I recognize that Joy Boy is greater than Rocks. Like, he's probably, Haki-wise, like, that's undeniable,
And
Like,
and Emu might even be like up there too, because how far-reaching his thing is too.
yeah. You know what it is for me? I saw, for the first time in One Piece history, somebody who's considered the biggest bad of the show get on all fours due to somebody's presence. Yo, that told me a lot. I was like, yo, what? You
true.
bent over like that?
true.
You got it
It's true.
turned up in the air like that?
Okay.
Toot that.
You got it tooted up?
Tooted and booted. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
All right. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. I want to get to 1,000 likes. All right, here we go. In the next part of the chapter, we're told that shortly before Harald's return, Queen Estrid passed away. With her dying breath, she cursed Prince Loki, blaming him and his curse for Elbaf's suffering. Harald wept over her passing, but all of Elbaf believed her death was yet another result of Loki's supposed curse. Despite the rumors, Harald embraced Loki with joy and love, yet Loki showed no affection in return, his eyes hidden beneath a covering. The guards explained that Loki was born with an affliction of the eyes, but even with them covered, he could still see. Harald accepted their explanation and held Loki in his arms, feeling pity for the boy. He urged Loki to smile, but Loki remained expressionless. Harald assumed it was simply because the mother had just passed. Then narration reveals Loki had abandoned all love and hope just a few months after birth. When Harald asks why Loki's body is covered in bruises, the guards stumble over their words, clearly avoiding the truth. We're then told that Elbaf survived the brutal winter, thanks to Harald's efforts and the alliances he forged with other nations. As Elbaf began to rebuild, Harald proposed creating branches to connect scattered villages of Elbaf, promoting unity through friendship and trade. But while Harald focused on restoring his country and traveling abroad, the care of Loki fell to Estrid's older brother, the regent, a man who hated Loki and physically abused him. Meanwhile, we learn that Ida now owns a bar. Harald visits her and warns that the underworld is dangerous. Ida assures him that the sea separates them from any threat. No beast can reach her bar. She appreciates his concern and playfully pinches his cheek. She promises to stop by the western village where Harald is training to become a warrior, to pick him up. Her dream is for her bar to become a haven, a place where pirates, travelers, and shipwrecked souls can gather. She hopes it might aid Harald's vision in some way. The timeline jumps forward. Now we're 56 years in the past, at Jarl's home. Jarl asks Harald if he was present for the incident at the reverie. Harald says he was. He had convinced a fellow royal to sneak him in disguised as a soldier, but the council refused to hear him out. If not for the chaos surrounding a murder, he might have been imprisoned. Jarl warns him how reckless that was. Even if he had only been chained, the risk was enormous. Then Jarl brings up the Galalia, hold on, how do I say that? Galela band. All right, my bad. It's just a hard thing to say.
Say Galila, bro. I
No,
know
it's
not what
Galela.
it is, but yeah.
It's considered. It's Galela.
Go ahead.
All right, my bad.
You-
That's how it's pronounced. I know it's Galila,
You good.
but it's Galela too. That's how it's actually pronounced in English, the actual word. All right. Then Jarl brings up the Galela band, a legendary group of giant shipwrights known for their strength and hammer-wielding skills. Harald remembers them, thinking they were just a myth. But Jarl confirms they were real. They journeyed across the seas and sent one final letter back to Elbaf from afar. It read, "We have all been taken prisoner." It's hard to believe who could possibly capture 100 powerful giants, including ancient giants. Harald wonders if the world government was behind it. Jarl agrees they must have had a powerful enemy in the distant past, but all of that history was lost, swallowed by the sea. Still, Jarl's point remains. Harald's failure to sway the council may not have been his fault. He also shares a rumor he heard of an army of giants put on ice and hidden away. But more importantly, he warns Harald not to forget, no matter how much good he does, the world has long viewed giants as a threat. Harald acknowledges this grim reality. So, Seb, what did you think about this part of the chapter, Gengi?
All right, a lot happened here, but I'm gonna kind of leave it to Lawrence to break down. I have a couple small points I want to bring up, but I want to get into one of my analysis pieces here. Harald still cried at Estrid's funeral. I was wondering if he had cried about her actual passing, or if he was crying that he heard what she said about her son, and like he knew what the rest of the Elbaf community would think as a result. Could be a bit of both, but it's also possible he did end up having genuine love for her on some level. I mean, they sired a child. They really lied to Harald about Loki's condition. Don't lie to me about my kid, bro. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Tell me what actually happened. Tell me why he's bruised up. Tell me, like, why we're covering his eyes. Y'all talking about he's affliction of the eyes. What's the deal? Tell me. I wonder if he's actually ever seen Loki's real eyes, because we see Loki as an adult still bandaged up around the eyes.
When he sees his real eyes, he'll realize
the Estrid ain't shit.
That's true. Very true.
The Galela, I don't know.
Galela.
Yeah.
Galela.
The G-Funk crew
Yeah.
Are they the people frozen in Punk Hazard? I know a lot of people was going around with that. I was trying to think if that's who that is.
I have a really cool theory for that.
Okay, cool.
But that's the general consensus, that these are the guys that are at Punk Hazard.
Because I was wondering if there were two separate entities that they were referring to. Because there's the shipwright people that were arrested.
I thought that
and
too.
And then there was the, you know what I mean?
I thought it too.
So
I think
wondering.
the way the conversation piece is happening with Yarul kind of indicates that these are the same giants.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah, because they were like, oh, we were taking prisoners. And then he's like, yo, but these Galilea band of giants, shipwrights, whatever. And then they write back, yo, we were in prisoners. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, this is all just like one thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But I might be wrong.
Now, in the conversation, they talk about enemies and things. I was wondering if those Galilea people, those shipwrights, they were the ones that might have built Pluton. Maybe I'm off base with that. I was trying to think if they're the ones, and that's why Emu probably got trying to get rid of them. Like, y'all are capable of building ancient weapons, etc. Yarul knows about the world being flooded. I was trying to figure out, like, how much, maybe that's from the Owl Library, or if that's just in general, that's common knowledge to the people of Elbaf.
Maybe, yeah.
So I was like, that was all news to us recently, and now it's like he's putting it out there as if, like, if I knew this, casually saying it to the king.
And it adds, because you remember, we always said that the books on Elbaf they existed before whatever O'Hara brought over. Yeah, so.
Exactly. But, again, I'll let you and Lawrence kind of assess through all that. I did want to get into a inverse parallel that I noticed between Loki and Sanji. It's going to take me a little bit to read this, but not too long.
Yeah.
All right. In the world of One Piece, being born a royal doesn't mean you're being born lucky. Sometimes it means being born into a curse. Today, we explore one of the most poetic inverse parallels in the series. The tale of two princes, Sanji of Germa 66 and Prince Loki of Elbaf. Two heirs to fearsome kingdoms, two broken childhoods, two destinies heading in the opposite directions. Both Sanji and Loki were born into nations feared across the Grand Line. Loki is the crown prince of Elbaf, the giant warrior nation unmatched in strength and pride. Sanji is the third son of Germa 66, a militarized kingdom run by science, clones, and cruelty. They were born not into peace, but into weapons of war. Here's where their stories begin to diverge. Loki was hated by his mother. She saw something monstrous in him, something twisted, and she tried to end his life. But his father loved him and saw power in what others feared. Sanji, he was cherished by his mother Sora, who longed for her son to remain human in a kingdom of monsters. But his father Judge hated him, a failed experiment, a disgrace to Germa's name. Judge symbolically killed Sanji, removing him from the family records and locking him away. Two princes, each torn between a parent's love and a parent's rejection. But even here, the mirror is flipped. Loki was born strong. From birth, he displayed terrifying and monstrous strength, even by Elbaf standards. Sanji was born weak. While his siblings were enhanced with genetic power, Sanji had none. He was left behind. One, a natural monster, one, a natural human. But only one grew stronger by choice. Because of their nature, both princes were forced to hide themselves. Loki was made to cover his serpent-like eyes, a feature feared by his people, maybe cursed, maybe just too different. Sanji was locked in a cell, his face covered, his life erased, a forgotten son, like the man in the iron mask. Both were told, you can't be seen. Both were hidden in shame. Loki bullied his older brother Harald, as we'll see later in this chapter, using his power to dominate and control. Sanji was bullied by his older brothers, who beat him down for being weak, for being emotional, for being conned. One inflicted pain to feel powerful, the other endured pain to remain human. Loki's mother tried to kill him, unable to accept what he was. Sanji's father erased him from the world, declaring him dead to hide his failure. Whether literal or symbolic, both princes were cast out. They were not sons, they were secrets. Fate brought both princes to the Charlotte family. Loki was arranged to marry Charlotte Lola, but she ran away, rejecting the deal and embarrassing both nations. Sanji was forced to marry Charlotte Pudding, but the wedding was a trap, a setup to assassinate the Vinsmokes and serve Big Mom's ambitions. 2 weddings, 2 betrayals, 2 princes who refused to be pawns. After everything, their views on love couldn't be more different. Loki gave up on love at a young age, hardened, cold, maybe incapable of it. Sanji never stopped believing in love, even when it hurt, even when it was unrequited, even when it broke his heart. Loki shut the door, Sanji left it open. But perhaps the deepest contrast between them lies in their dreams. Sanji's dream of the All Blue, a mythical ocean where all the world's seas meet, a place of unity, a place of peace, a dream that connects people through food, culture, and compassion. Loki dreams of Ragnarok, the end of the world, not connection, but destruction, not unity, but chaos. One prince dreams to build something that unites the world, the other dreams to bring it crashing down. So here they stand, two princes, two outcasts, two sons of feared empires, but one became a monster shaped by power and rejection, the other became a man shaped by kindness and choice. Loki may be Elbaf's destroyer, but Sanji became the prince of the seas, a cook, a fighter, and a man who still dreams of a world where everyone can sit at the same table. Sometimes the most outrageous thing a prince can do is dream of love in a world built for war. Yeah. Hope that was quick enough for you. No?
That was dope.
Oh yeah. I had a whole little
good.
graph thing here with it's all here.
That's for you.
That's for me.
Yeah.
That's for me.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good.
Yo, Marv, can you play that What About His Heart real quick?
Why? And one of his heart.
Oh man. I actually think
that was good.
I actually think that
I really like that.
all the Straw Hats parallel Loki in some way. But it's gonna take too long to get through all
Yeah,
that.
it's too much.
But I did see the Sanji one more than anything, just because
Yeah.
of the love piece of that chapter that Oda pointed that out. I really, really liked that, and I started diving deeper into it. But that's everything for me. I'll pass the law.
Yeah, bro, that was nice. You could have did that naked, and it would have been so much better.
What the heck? Why naked?
Why naked?
Go ahead, Law.
Why? Okay. Anyway, no, I think the way Harald, the person he is now, I think he genuinely was crying for Estrid.
He was like, "Yo, I hate her, but her box is crazy.
Hey, man.
The box is crazy."
Like
I just go, "Wow."
Shorty was turning me out.
Yeah, bro, she was so toxic.
Bruh.
It was just attachment
I feel
trauma.
him. I ain't gonna lie, I feel
it
him,
was just
bro.
attachment. He didn't really love her.
I feel
You know what I'm
No,
saying,
but I
bro?
feel like-
we all have that one eater we regret. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Ida like really softened his heart, and then him growing to learn about humans changed his perspective about it. So now he's genuinely this person where he doesn't want to see. Like he kind of would probably only use violence to for the greater good. Right. So I think he's genuinely crying for like the loss of. She was his wife. Right.
there was somebody at the funeral who was crying a little too hard. It was like one of the guards.
Hey man,
He was like,
who that?
and he's like, who is why are you crying
Why
like
he
that?
crying like that? Nah, for real though, you be away for too long. You know. Can't.
Listen, man, you know how they be. Soldiers be out there, man. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Harold lost his best eater. No, he didn't. Eater's still back home, man.
Yeah, bro.
Eater's still around.
Yeah.
Okay. And Harold's reaction to seeing Loki for the first time, and it's a shame that we're like this time that he was away and what Isha did to Loki took away any hope or even like striving or caring for that type of affection. It's basically like she kind of closed the door on his heart for that. It's like, if I'm not gonna get it from my mother, it's like it doesn't matter. Even though you can see Loki, my son, how genuine Harold is, and even and Loki's not responding to it.
He's like, who are you? You're not my dad.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like. I don't know this man, you know.
Yeah.
But no love and affection, because even though I don't think it's been that long, because Loki doesn't look that much bigger. You know, than when we first seen him.
It's been like a little bit. It's been years. Yeah.
Has it been years?
Yeah. Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
It's been
So she's been alive, right? Like
63 years start.
yeah,
Yeah, 63 years, because that's when he was born.
yeah, 63 years, and then you go forward when she passes away, 56 years. So it's like within that time frame, it's literally, bro, it's about like 7 years.
Okay.
It's about 7 years. It's within the 7 year time frame. So even if
That's
it's like
crazy.
5 years,
Yeah. No,
Where's the milk? You didn't even bring anything back.
Yo, yes, he did. He literally brought the food to let the country survive.
Where's my milk? You holding me up? I don't care.
Yo, check the poll, bro. A wallet.
Yo, stop the poll, bro.
I gotta stop
End
the
poll, bro. End the poll, bro.
All
That's
right.
inappropriate. Inappropriate.
Hold on.
And so, going into Loki's eyes, I wonder, and because also if you look at how the guards responded, right? Even though, like a lot of Elbaf, were influenced by Estrid, and we see how they're viewing him as the curse and everything, right? But if you look how the guards kind of Loki wanted to protect Loki, right? It's interesting. Maybe it's because that's their duty. That's literally what they're trained and raised to do. Because if you look back when you should have took it out, no, they warned her that he's climbing back up, or telling her to climb back up, right? And then when she broke in, he goes, no, Loki, you can't go into your mom's chamber, right? But now I'm looking at even with the way they're protecting his eyes, because he even said it's the curse. They said no, it's got to be a coincidence. But they're not taking her words as law or whatever. And now they're even bandaging Loki's eyes, because I believe they did that, right? To me, it could be as for fear that Harald might respond the same way his mom did, right? So I wonder if they bandaged his eyes to protect Loki, because you don't want the same result, Because it even ended in her passing, but how it caused this chaos inside the royal family or in the castle of her reacting to Loki's eyes. What if they're let's protect the child from in a way, in case Harald would act the same way, or just anything, just have him rejoice and say, he has a affliction with it has to be covered, but he can still see. So I thought about that. This actually may have been a protection for Loki that the guards did, so that Harald may not react the same way. I don't think Harald would, but they're
that's a good point out too.
It is a good point out. I didn't think of that at all.
Him feel bad.
Yeah, because like you said, they probably hid a lot from him, But I would like to say, same question. I wonder if Harold's actually ever seen Loki's real eyes.
It's like having two white parents, and then the woman gives birth, and the kid's black. And it's just hey man, maybe you don't want to come inside the nursery right now, man.
Bro,
it's just he's not looking too good. It's just what do you mean? What's wrong with him? He just has a skin affliction.
A skin affliction. He just has a little bit.
Reverse albino, man.
Yeah, man.
He got reverse vitiligo, man.
Not looking too good, man.
What Uncle can say reverse vitiligo?
You're so stupid. How far did you get?
How far did I get? What are you talking about, bro?
You just got to where they mentioned the ancient the old band, right?
Yeah, I got to where Yarul and King Harald are sitting amongst each other. That's it. We didn't go into the Prince Loki.
Here, bro. Right here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
so I won't add. All right, so I won't add that part. Okay, so yeah. So then I talked about Loki's things and then protecting it. So now. So yeah, I want to point. You guys are throwing me off. You guys keep doing this.
I'm sorry. That was just so funny. It's just so funny. My bad.
Right.
I'll shut up.
Right. So to me, showing again how talking about how is it still he united already? No, he didn't do that yet. Yeah, he knew that. Okay. Anyway, right. Arrow showing how much of a good king he is, but lacking a little on the fatherhood because of what's going on with them, right? But I will mention, Sebastian, to shout out to you what you were saying here too, because I peeped it, that the same shop that Shanks rolled up and he was eating with Dorian Bragi, right? And where he was, Colin's yo, let me join your crew. So that's Ida's shop or bar that she opened up back then, right?
Yeah. So
I went back. When you first see it, it's chapter 1076, and then you see it lastly at 1132 when he's leaving because they showed up, right? But so I tried checking if that's Ida's shop.
Ida.
It's not Ida, but I did notice she has the same freckles that Ida has, right? So I wondered, is that Hadruden's sister? Like, is that a daughter of?
Damn. So you think Ida got a kid by somebody else?
I mean, she can't.
Nah.
She can't be with her.
You know what? You know what?
Yo, there's so much cheating in Elbaf going on, bro.
You know what?
What's happening?
You know what though? Shout out to Ida because you love this man. He out here putting you to the side for this other woman. Mm-hmm. Go live your life, queen.
Mm-hmm. Your name Ida, but you really a eater. You know what I'm saying?
She found a man that was in love with her.
Take care of me.
That was down
I'm
for
a
her.
single mom.
Didn't matter what
I need help.
What responsibilities he had outside of the kingdom.
He ain't always here, but when he come around, I'll be fucking again.
Oh my goodness.
I told you stop messing with him. I told you he ain't no good.
She's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
Yo.
Yo, Lawrence, go ahead, bro.
Okay.
Yo,
Our bad, bro.
bruh. So,
right.
yo, it's Sebastian's fault I'm like this today, bro. I don't know, bro. Tripping, bro.
So yeah, and
He's a good. He's a good man, Savannah. That's
Good man.
And you know she was talking to another dude with a kid.
Yo,
Because usually people with kids don't talk to other people without kids.
Oh my god, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if Haruden has like a step, bro.
Hey, man. Just had Ida found happiness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She don't gotta deal with all that.
you're so stupid. Yeah. So I like how Oda is just giving us more and more information about the world he built and the history that he kind of set up, right? Because to me, this giant band, right, of these 100 giants that were staying strong, right? And we read that they got taken out by an enemy, but he says there's hundreds of them, right? And he kind of linked the history of it got sunk, or because the world over. So to me, that tells us this is a band that wasn't recent. This is like back then, probably during the Ancient Kingdom times, or it could be the Void Century and around that. So to me, are these another group that the 20 Kingdoms took out in their alliance? Because they put in work, as in, dude, they cleaned up house like everywhere. The Ancient
Everybody
Kingdom,
get packed.
yo, like I don't know who was involved in this Ancient Kingdom, but these dudes, like, they were that strong. Was it a bunch of like ancient? Was it a bunch of 20 kingdoms? They were all like the knights.
They said get
Or
down or
girls
lay
say?
down, bro.
Because you have the Lunarians, you have the Shandorians, you have Wano, you have the Ancient Kingdom, you have Fishmen, you have the Giants, like. Who else? Like, in other races were getting taken out by them.
All these races are special, but they got taken out by those regular humans.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know what power they had. And they had ancient kingdoms. So, to me, I chalk it up to, like, these giants may have been... Maybe they weren't necessarily warriors because they're shipwrights, but we get to believe that back then all giants were warriors, right? Mm-hmm. So, it is basically like that 20... How hard that those 20 kingdoms went, that alliance, to take on all of this. Maybe, and also, too, I wouldn't say probably it was all at the same time, right? Because you don't fight all of them as a group, right? For the 20 kingdoms, to make it, you kind of attack each one, like the Fire Nation did. Mm-hmm. They attacked the Air Kingdom first, then they attacked whatever, you know? They probably moved more like that than trying to fight them all at once, because I don't see how they would win. Even though you guys have 20 kingdoms, I don't know... That's a lot who were taken out. So we see how strong they are, you know? So they probably singled them out and took them out.
Yo, it depends.
And once Joy Boy's gone, the Avatar's gone, right? So, like...
It depends, though, because it's like, yo, they had all this and that, and then the ancient weapons. Mm-hmm. They might have just been able to just take everybody out, bro.
Same time.
Yeah, bro. Like, if you got ancient weapons and, like, you know, like, I could come back... Like, what? I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I can't wait. I really hope Oda explains, like, this history, and we don't just get it word of the story, but we get to see at least a decent amount. Because I understand Oda, like, for Oda, writing the whole ancient war, the battle, will be a lot.
It would be a lot.
But I think everyone wants to see it, though. You know, like if we get a flashback of how the war took place and everything, not just tidbits, show it somehow, like, you know. But I think everyone kind of wants to see it, and it would make your storyline better, you know, if he did do it. Right. Because all the players that he keeps adding to it, like now this big group of giants and all we think the Lunarians. And also we already get the hype that Vegapunk was hyping up Joy Boy's crew. So robust was the Ancient Kingdom and Joy Boy's crew that they had to align together. But those weren't the only players. We have so many other races involved in this one. It's like, how did these 20 kingdoms do it? You know? Who did they have? Right? So I think Oda's adding much. And also, how did you sync the world while doing all this, you know? So it raises up questions I think we would all enjoy seeing it if Oda actually gave us that, right? And the stuff I want to say is attached to later on, so I think I'm done for now.
All right, Seb.
I went already.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I'm a Sanji
my bad.
Loki rant.
My bad. All right, for me, that the bar that Ida created must be the same one Shanks visits at the small port along Elbaf's coast. When we were first introduced to this bar, we met Colin. But the bartender wasn't Ida, as Lawrence pointed out. It was Mato. That's her name. So if this really is the same bar, it raises a big question. What happened to Ida? She still hasn't appeared in the current story. I'm going to make a prediction right now. I believe that on her way home, Ida will stop to visit Haruden, but she'll encounter the character revealed at the end of the chapter. I think she'll be murdered by him, either by accident or as a consequence of King Harald rejecting this pirate's offer for something. Once this pirate learns how much Ida means to Harald, he'll ruthlessly target her to send a message. That's my theory for now.
Do you want responses to that?
It's up to you. We could talk. We're a podcast.
Okay. While I love it, you know me, I'm all about the murder. Probably shouldn't have said all that, but
yeah, that's crazy.
My bad. I can't see a world where Whitebeard's cool with that, and he's there.
I keep telling you, bro.
Yo, bro, I'm sorry. It would spin the face of who Whitebeard is. It would. Like, he's not just gonna be like the reason Whitebeard let Odin on the crew was because he saved some girl.
Yeah.
Like, he showed a display of what he was as a person. And that's why he rocked with him. For me to be like, I mean, I know he's younger, but like, bruh.
Whitebeard clearly don't like rocks.
I don't think that's the case. We'll get into that later. I don't think that's the case. He just don't like the notion that he is captain.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Again, it'll be a wild chain of events if that's what went down.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. Maybe he did it behind Whitebeard's back. You feel the same, right?
I know. I feel the same because also they talked about, for example, remember when what's his name, that the creep, Rodo was explaining them. He's talking about Hadruden. They kind of mentioned the mom, and I'm surprised because I swear we read that they ran her out of Elbaf, right? But the way the storyline's going, I don't necessarily see that either. But they talk about it because I think they mentioned it. I feel like they would have mentioned already if Rox did take her out. I feel like that's not something they would not mention already. Especially they brought up his mom a few times already, you know?
I like to think we got more from Ida than this, too. And maybe that's speculative, but I don't know. It'll be wild, though.
Tell you, bro.
But if Rox is that weird of a person, I would like him less.
All right, so put it this way: Whitebeard's all about children. You would say?
Mm-hmm.
He saw Rox just stab a child in the stomach with a sword, and he got told to shut up afterwards and didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So for you to be like, "Yo, he not gonna murk Ida in front of him,"
he fine with disciplining kids. Loki was talking crazy.
Yo, you don't know, bro.
Loki was out here like, "Yo, I'll fight you."
Yo, again, Ida got a mouth. Yo, Ida got a mouth. Ida been known to smack dudes in the face.
I'll tell you this right now.
Yo, we've seen her smack Harald. She tried to confront the random giant that choked her up, that yoked her up. Like, yo, bro, like, yeah, I think y'all placing a lot of faith in Whitebeard's character later on in life, but you're not placing it in like Whitebeard growing up in life.
You don't change that drastically, especially not in One Piece. It's a show of stagnant characters as far as what they're like and who they are.
But there is an instance where like something like this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I don't know why you're still trying to hang on to this belief. Like, it's been shown.
You know me. All things is possible until it ain't. It's not impossible what you're saying. I just, based on what I know about Whitebeard, I don't think he would be cool with that.
All right, put it this way. Yeah, again, this goes into the conversation that we were having about Whitebeard before, but Whitebeard don't consider him his captain or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, who's walking in front of all of them? And who's behind? You don't see that with Buggy. You're never going to see that with Buggy.
You might.
Right? With
totally
Mihawk and Crocodile, that just doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like that like even to a degree, Blackbeard gets that shine, right? On his pirate crew. But Aokiji will definitely walk in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's a clear difference, bro. It's distinguished very greatly, and it's been like this ever since he's been introduced. It just, you're getting more of what I've been talking about.
That's fine. Him murking Ida ain't proving that though. Like, so that doesn't prove anything.
So hold on. So what if he does?
I have to look at Whitebeard differently. Again, new context provides better understanding.
Okay.
If Whitebeard's fine with Rocks clipping Ida for these gains, then I have to look at Whitebeard a little differently. New context provides better, clear understanding. To my understanding of Whitebeard's character, what he values, what he's about, he wouldn't just sit by and let that rock. Poking up the kid, he already said, like, yo, what the hell, you really stabbing kid? Like, he already had a problem with that even. We taking out women as hostages to man, hey man, I gotta see. People change. Again, One Piece is notoriously a show about people not changing too much. Mm-hmm. Like, who you are, who your core values are, is kind of who you have been and will be. But maybe Whitebeard is an example of a dynamic character.
So let me tell you this: when Rocks ended up stabbing Loki and beating him down, and he's a kid, did you think differently about Whitebeard than you did before?
No, because Whitebeard didn't. Hold on, Rocks didn't clip Loki. Loki challenged him. He fought him. Whitebeard has done that. Even I don't know how many years old Loki is when that moment takes place, but even Whitebeard, I get challenged by people I deem sons to me. I'll beat you down. He said he went too far, but disciplining the child isn't beyond the pale for Whitebeard. Okay. Actively murking this woman for the means that you're saying, that doesn't scream Whitebeard to me.
But it doesn't matter what Whitebeard thinks or says.
Fair, but I'm saying how he would react to that happening would be different than what you're suggesting.
So we'll see.
We will see.
We will see.
We will see. But
if it turns out like that, I want a thesis from ChatGPT as an apology as to why Whitebeard.
And if it don't, am I getting that? Like, what's up?
Like, come on, bro.
What we want to do?
We're gonna see though.
I kind of don't feel like it's gonna be in Rox's character to attack a defenseless woman.
Maybe not.
It very well could be.
Maybe not. But it depends. He seems to want to get whatever he wants, and he's ruthless.
Yeah. No, you could be that way without inflicting on people like who are like, I'm not gonna say innocent, but like who are like the whole sounds like touching people who are not in the game. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yo, say, and we're leaning on this for a little bit, but if Whitebeard, if Rocks tries to kidnap Ida, and Whitebeard stands against it, what are you gonna say then?
I'm gonna expect Rocks to either
fight him and beat him,
or be like, yo, then you can get off my ship. Because remember, Whitebeard necessarily doesn't have to stay around. Whitebeard could leave whenever he wants, and the fact that he doesn't is still a conversation of why I say Whitebeard had to at least not consider him a captain, but he respected him enough to know that if he wants to do something, he's just gonna do it, and I can't do nothing about it.
I have a thesis.
You're gonna have to say somehow, some way that Whitebeard just allows all the things that Rocks does, and you're gonna have to be like, okay, I just either I allow him to do it or I don't allow him to do it, and I have a say, but he doesn't listen to anybody anyway, which has been proven. He just does what he wants to do.
And I want to wait until we get to that part of the chapter, but in general, to this point in the story with them, Rox hasn't wilded out to the like. He hasn't done anything close to what you're saying.
Okay.
He would do to Ida.
Yeah.
Clipping the Marine. We'll get to that later, but we don't know the circumstances
I'm saying
behind
it's a
that.
possibility.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
I'm fine with. I'm saying the nature of dudes, things will be a little different for me if that's the case.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
What was I saying before?
My bad.
No, that's cool. All right, so I believe we all reached the same conclusion about who and where these Galala band giants are. I share that belief as well. I think the Galilei band giants who were taken prisoner are the same frozen giants we saw on Punk Hazard. For this band of giants to be considered a myth, they must predate King Harald. But are they older than Yarul? And if so, by how much? Based on how it's worded, we can assume they existed during Yarul's time. However, it's also possible Yarul learned about them from records or from the letter they sent back to Elbaf confirming their existence. Yarul specifically mentions he's heard stories of an army of giants put on ice and hidden somewhere, further supporting this idea. Yarul also says these giants must have faced a great enemy in the distant past. This leads me to believe that the Galilea band of giant shipwrights may have originated during the Void Century. I think they were the ones who visited Water 7, since they traveled to other islands, and they were the original builders of the ancient weapon Pluton. Shipwrights in Water 7 have always stated that Pluton was built by ancient shipwrights. When Tom showed Iceberg and Frankie the blueprints, Frankie even questioned whether humans could have possibly built it. This suggests that the world government discovered there were people capable of constructing Pluton and realized they could not allow such powerful craftsmen to roam free. That's just what it was. Instead of killing them outright, since they had long been searching for Pluton without success, the world government captured them, hoping to force them to build another weapon in the future. When the Galilei band refused, they were taken prisoner and frozen. And they were probably frozen by somebody who also had the chill Logia devil fruit that Aokiji has. This explains why the giants on Punk Hazard are wearing prisoner uniforms. It also clarifies why the world government didn't execute them. They hoped to eventually break them down and force their cooperation. This directly connects to the events in Water 7, where CP9 was searching for the blueprints held by Frankie and Iceberg. This theory also raises another possibility. Could these be the same people who built the Noah? I believe they are. If that's true, it suggests that Water 7 and Elbaf were allied with Fishman Island, which was allied with Joy Boy in the Ancient Kingdom. Adding even more weight to this, Yarul and Harald are shocked at the idea of anyone being able to defeat 100 giants, including ancient giants. But we know that King Harald and 100 giants, which also included ancient giants, were ultimately defeated at Orr's Castle at the time of Harald's passing. If my theory holds, this is a parallel between both groups, and they were taken out by Emu. Emu and the Ancient Alliance would have been the great enemy that Elbaf and its allies faced in the distant past. Once an ancient weapon, most likely Uranus, was used, it raised the sea levels by 200 meters, causing Elbaf's known history to sink beneath the sea. This would mean Elbaf doesn't just have a heaven world, a sun world, and an underworld. There must be a deeper sunken layer beneath Elbaf, a hidden world swallowed up by the sea. So there might be a whole nother plane we haven't experienced.
Like the tree's that much bigger?
Yes, because Yggdrasil's roots have always held worlds inside them too, like in Norse mythology. So there might be something really important at the roots of Yggdrasil.
And it'll be like the tree that reaches Fishman Island then, kind of.
Exactly.
The Eve tree, I think it's called, right?
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. You thinking about something?
No, I was just processing everything you said. I like it. I like the Noah tie-in.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we never really talk about, like, who built that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So-
Only the Neptunians always said the ship was going to be needed for something, and they were going to eventually come back.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. I forgot what the Neptunians exactly said, but they said something around those lines.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then they took it somewhere to safety.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But here's where I get a bit confused on Imu's actions. If King Harald really did speak with the Gorosei, why would Imu refuse to ally with him? Especially knowing that Elbaf is prophesied to play a crucial role in determining the outcome of this upcoming war. Why go through all the trouble of trying to subjugate them now when Elbaf was already open to trade and willing to establish diplomatic ties? Like, what you doing?
You got a point. But it does seem as though, how do I say this? Emu's like, yo, you're a little too kind-hearted with it. Like, I don't think I can manipulate you in the way that I would need to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing a lot of charitable stuff with your time here. I'm kind of about more, let's lock in and get me where I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're gonna acquiesce to those things if you move in this way. But you're right. If he's open to all this like connection and you know, I mean,
I think it's
the world
more-
government been messing up for years.
And not,
Yeah, they really have. They really have.
I think it's kind of a control thing.
Yeah.
Because they kind of limit other countries. They kind of the world government tries to make it seem like they're the only thing that the world could depend on. It's like you depend on us, and that gives us the right to control anything about your life. But if you have them linking up with each other, that takes away power or control or the reliance on the world government because they're trading with each other. But everything has to come from me. It's like, I'm the hand that feeds you. I'm also the hand that controls every outlet of you. So I think it's probably more like trying to maintain that power. It's like, yeah, they want the giants, but it's like, no, the way you're going about it disagrees with the way we do things because we want to be able to control what they're getting, not them freely doing it amongst themselves. No, that takes away our power, our control, probably.
You know, it's interesting to me. I think if I'm Emu and I see King Harald and he tells me what's going on with him and I necessarily have bad intentions and he doesn't, I think to myself, this guy's gathering too many allies too quickly. Like his diplomatic ties, even though they hold good faith, is gaining him power that is going to be able to compete with the world government at a certain point. Like if King Harald is allying with 100 nations and the world government is allied with 170 nations, well, God, you kind of like, you kind of becoming like the ancient kingdom real quick, dog.
I don't like that.
And also,
I don't like that.
and also like you have incredible strength. I don't like this too much. I think I'm good, yo. And then I'm gonna take you out.
I will say, he does start doing something. Like they have some sort of tie that led to the stuff that Shanks was talking about in the attack from the God's Knights. So there's something like he starts seeing and identifying the threat in some way and take action. You know what's
crazy? He was linking up with unaffiliated nations of the world government.
Wano.
He was like, "Oh,
Fishman
you
Island.
went to Wano? They like you?" Yo, I don't know, man. Yo, you went to Fishman Island?
Like Belly Man. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So it must have been like, nah, you're actually gathering nations that are against us. And even though you don't have ill intent, they might sway you into thinking that we're the bad guys, which we really are, but we don't want you to know that, right? But it's like, yo, you also have like these atom trees. You're familiar with them. Maybe you have historical knowledge of like Ohara. So if you start gaining like Ohara's knowledge, you start doing. It's like, yo, you're becoming an actual threat. And this is where like the world government started to see Yonkos as actual threats because they were developing their own governments, right? Big Mom, you couldn't mess with her. She was too powerful. They wouldn't even send admirals to Wano because of Kaido's influence and strength. They had to deal with the Yonko. They were so scared that two Yonkos would meet up and ally because that would mean anything, right, that's under their flag is considered their government.
Right.
So now you could compete with us, and that's a problem.
You think the world government started viewing Harald and Elbaf as like a Yonko
Absolutely.
establishment?
He might have been like a low key, like an underground Yonko, and he just didn't even know it. And
That's not even what he was trying to do.
he's not even trying to do. And the crazier part
way,
is that Elbaf's biggest gain was their innate physical traits. Like if a kingdom had an issue and they needed help, people feared these giants already. So if you were a kingdom that was allied with Elbaf and
Nobody
they knew
touching
that
you.
nobody's touching you. So now I can't even send admirals or anything probably to this location because you got people like Harald who could bang out with one. Oh, I'm sorry, dog. I'm not coming. That's a Yonko now. So it's so confusing because to me, Emu should have just been like, all right, so I'm going to take
Should've
you
nipped it in the bud
and then
early.
I'm going to nip all these other nations that you're affiliated with and they're going to be under my umbrella.
Yeah.
So why not just do it then?
That's where I think they're blinded by their power, you know, because the whole emu thing, like he obviously he's smart and clever, but it's in a way you're so hung up on your power and your rights or whatever, is that you try to control it instead of trying to like work schemingly behind the things where like you could like you said, kind of allow yourself and kind of like slowly break that down. You know, from the inside, and then recontrol the power. But they're most like, no, we don't. This is not in line with our goals, so they cut it down already. Where they're still banded together. It's like, why are you fighting us? You know, you're kind of letting them know that you're the enemy already now, right? Instead of like, no, like how some people do it. They pretend to be your friend, and then they cripple it, and then re-seize all that power themselves. So I think Emu's kind of blinded by his status. Where it's like, I get what I want, but you're not thinking about your bigger picture for them.
The one thing I did want to say is very minor pushback for what you're saying, because technically they did have Mother Caramel in there trying to do something, recruit, get giants in there, whatever. They're not doing enough towards what Harold's doing.
Yeah.
But he's also very much on the move, and he, for all I know, they are trying to do something because he's just never in Elbaf.
Yeah.
So like they could be trying to meet with him or whatever while he's out doing his thing. It's just the dude's always on the go doing something in different countries. So they got something going. They just not enough.
It's really hard to infiltrate Elbaf too because it's just different people. Like if I try to send a CP agent, they're gonna know who that is.
Right.
They'll be like, yo, who's this little guy?
You don't got no giants that you can send in
Exactly.
to be like, hey guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I will say this. I think also the reason why they were frozen on Punk Hazard, the Galala Club, was because Caesar was using them as storage to keep his experiments running. So he would use like the blood from one of those giants, and he would continuously take supplies of their blood.
there was one other thing I wanted to add to that, and that's great. This isn't the first time that giants have been manipulated or been utilized in the Water 7 storyline. If y'all remember, I forget the two, Oimo and Kashi were tricked by the world government to do their bidding while they were looking for Dory and Bragi. So it's like, we should have known from jump that there would be another tie-in to Galila and the Water 7 people. So
that was a banger part of the chapter, by the way. I love that part.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's everybody, if you haven't liked the episode just yet, please do us the favor, hit that like button, please. Seb's gonna read super chats for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna go into the next part of the chapter, and then after that next part we'll do super chats, and then the final part, which is the big reveal. Okay?
All right.
So
we got another 5 from Raven D Storm. It says, "Happy Monday, fellas. Question: Speed versus Lawrence."
Oh, you know what I wanted to say? Shaggy might be the royal that befriended King Harald that allowed him into the palace.
Ooh.
I forgot to mention that. My bad. Were you thinking that?
I thought Shaggy, but I also thought of someone else, but I didn't want to say it because we didn't get there yet, did we?
No.
But
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but I thought it was Shaggy.
I like that though.
Yeah.
The
I
Mosa
thought-
person or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought of 2 people. Shaggy was one of them.
Okay, but you have another one?
Yeah.
All right, after. All right, who's faster, Law or the horse? Stronger?
They said speed, so I want to say it's I Show Speed. Is that who they're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh!
I'm going to go Lawrence.
The speed horse.
The horse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My bad. Thank you, Marv. My bad. I completely blanked on that.
Marv is on it.
Another 8 from Jalen. It says, Silhouette Peace is coming to an end. And the countdown to the end is ticking. Do you guys think that due to immortality, could Emu be just like that?
Wait.
Oh, like it's not a silhouette. That's just what Emu looks like.
No.
He's just a black figure. What is he? The guy from Kids
Next Door?
Yeah, the father. A black dude.
Could be.
It's a skin affliction.
Another 2 from Nimbus Jujubee. 30 more minutes. We about to get 5-hour lives by next year.
Oh my
How about all that, man?
Marvin's gonna have to get somebody to come in.
Marv's not trying to be here that long.
Yeah, bro.
Are we trying to be here?
Yeah. Not if it's needed, nah.
Another 5 from Andrew. It says, big ups to y'all. I've been waiting for this. Yeah, thank you, man. Another 5 from Darth Vader. It says, love the show, y'all. I saw someone say that Vegeta was a Saiyan Hotep. What do you guys think? Hashtag Spotify.
Stop.
A Saiyan what?
Yo, Kakarot. Use your real name. That's your slave name. What's a Goku, man?
Yo, you know he never.
We was Kangs.
He never called him Goku.
Never. Another 5 from Clapped Yo Cheeks. Okay. Clapped Yo Cheeks. That's what he's saying. Was arguing with a friend. Do you think Raizo could absorb a Bijou Bomb from Naruto?
No.
If so,
No.
can he absorb
No.
a Galaxy Impact? Galaxy Impact, no. Bijou Bomb, 100%. He can absorb the what's the name of Kaido's attack, man?
Blast
Flame.
breath?
Yeah, Burrow Blast.
Burrow breath.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, who?
It's Raizo. It's
He's
the
not taking a burrow
with
breath.
the
he
scroll.
did.
Oh, he did though.
He absorbed it, bro.
He threw it back at him.
and threw it back at Kaido.
Oh, and then he wrapped it around him.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I
That's what I'm
remember that.
saying. Haki, no. Galaxy Impact, no. Haki's gonna bypass whatever's happening there.
No.
If we want to equate a Bijou Blast to a Haki Blast, like
It's
Lord
not.
Skyler was saying earlier, then no. But if it's not, why not?
I think
Put a Spirit Bomb in there, man.
Imagine. Like,
Raizo top 1 all of a sudden. Another 5 from Dom the God. Are you not entertained? If you like the stream, then like the stream. Hashtag Larry Tax. Hashtag Law still hasn't paid me. Hashtag Seb Savage. Hashtag Marvelous. Thank you. Another 5 from Moogie Boogie. It says, have you heard the theory about Rocks using the Opie fruit to put his heart inside Blackbeard, and that's why he can hold 2 fruits and never sleeps? Yeah, a couple people have super chatted about it already.
I hate that.
I'm not a big fan of it. Again, sometimes people just have kids, yo. But it's possible. Another 5 from Xavier O'Dilly. Subtop. Where do the Straw Hats go next? Beehive to rescue Garp, Laugh-Tale, Mary Joie to fight Emu, or somewhere else? Hashtag Larry Tax. Hashtag tariffs never die. Roadstar? Do they need to go to Lodestar? I don't know if they need to.
I would like for them to.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing about it and not visiting it.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
Yeah. Y'all have any? Right.
I think it's too early for Lodestar.
We in the end game now, man. Another 5 from Jay Darude. It says, thanks for the Promised Neverland recommendation. I guess that was you, because I've never seen it. I don't think the twins have seen it.
Nah.
Watch the Big O, bro.
Another 2 from Kid O'Donnell. It says, do you think Yonko can solo other Yonko crews solo? Yes. Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Another 5 from Azimba. It says, trying to go to that panel, but will probably be able to only go one day. Please, as soon as you know which day it is, let the community know.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Hashtag TOPT.
I'll definitely let everybody know when we do it.
Another 14 months of Yonko status from our guy Cyborg Frankie. It says, happy Topped Monday. I ordered a Lionel body pillow, but the only thing that came in the mail was a piece of paper written in crayon that said, business partner tax. Hashtag bang bang buggy gang. Hashtag hi Marv with a heart emoji.
Aw,
That's crazy.
that's so cute.
Another 5 from IMX. I don't know what that says. So how we like the reveal of this guy's new true name, the Clown Rocks the Buggy, the
Oh my
next
God.
true pirate
You guys
king.
try so hard to just troll.
We'll get
I do
to
not
it
get it.
later. Another 5 from Young the Ace. It says, what are y'all favorite theories in regards to the final saga? Man, there's a lot of theories out there, bruh. My favorite one's probably the destroying of the Red Line will create
All blue.
All blue.
Yeah, I like that one the best.
Yeah.
That seems the most logical one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We did get another 10 gifted memberships from Roy Stokes. Roy, thank you so much for gifting.
Yes, thank you, Roy, as always, man, with the 10.
Yeah.
Please say thank you, people.
Yeah. Another 70 Czar from OBP200. In the data books, Oda said that Whitebeard's blade could tank his and Roger's Conqueror's without getting a scratch. Since Yoru is a confirmed stronger blade, could Mihawk block Conquest of the Sea with no Haki?
No.
I'll go no. Another two.
Let's do 2 more, and then we'll go back to Chop.
Yeah, another 2 from Jada Rude. It says, if the horse gets sick, you just call Lawrence. Done. With that far back. Oh, man. Another 5 from Fallen Star. Hey, guys, new to the channel. Have been loving the show. Just got caught up, and crazy chapter to get caught up on, huh? Hashtag Roxy's Buggy. Hashtag Larry Tex. It is a crazy chapter to get caught up on. Mm-hmm. I got caught up live, like, to the week-to-week mangas when Ace's death chapter. That was the chapter, like, when he got poked up by Akainu. Like, that was the first live chapter I ever read. I was in absolute shock. So, this is probably up there.
Yeah. Let's do this last one and then the chapter.
Another 21 months at Nakama Stats from He's Pirate Jesus. It says, they saying Rock's hair blue and black is buggy, bro.
Oh, my God.
You asked for that.
I'm so done with everybody. All right. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. I'm trying to get to 1,000 likes. For the next part of the chapter, we see Loki's uncle calling out to him, branding him the murderer of his sister Estrid. The uncle sneers, wondering what kind of scraps he'll throw Loki today. As Loki grows older, misfortune follows him. The horse gifted to King Harald by the late Queen Estrid passes away, and soon after, Estrid's brother, Loki's regent, passes away in the underworld. For the first time in his life, Loki smiles when his uncle passes. We jump forward again in the flashback, this time to 48 years ago. By now, King Harald has built 8 branch routes, successfully unifying the country and creating a vibrant trade network for Elbaf. Standing before the giants, King Harald declares that he has a dream: to connect Elbaf to every country in the world and to see giantkind spread across the globe. The giants of Elbaf cheer with joy. Some barely recognize Harald. He's changed so much. Yet, despite all the success and cultural growth, some giants still see Haruden as an outsider. To them, Loki is the rightful prince, and Haruden is nothing more than a failed offspring. These whispers bring Haruden to tears. Later, while King Harald is away on another journey, fear spreads as Loki rampages through Elbaf alongside his underworld beast companions. He commands them to destroy Elbaf, claiming that the weak don't deserve to live. He mocks the villagers as they flee in terror. The only one who dares confront him is Haruden, who pleads with Loki not to destroy what their father worked so hard to build. But Loki spits back that Harald is not his father. He despises him for befriending weaker species. To Loki, that's foolish. Haruden counters, recalling the words of his mother once told King Harald, that everyone should be seen at the same eye level. Being big doesn't make you special. But Loki lashes out, attacking Haruden and declaring he is special because he's the prince. He warns Haruden never to speak back to him. A young Gerd rushes to help Haruden up, but Goldberg tries to stop her, fearing Loki's wrath. Gerd ignores him, shouting that Haruden is their friend, and runs to his aid. Loki smirks, calling Haruden a loser. As Haruden wipes the blood from his cheek and stands up, Loki becomes furious, mocking them both. Look at you, weaklings, licking each other's wounds. Then Loki crosses a line, insulting Haruden's bloodline, calling it tainted because of his mother. The royal guards intervene, trying to calm Loki, but when they call Haruden a prince, Loki snaps and attacks the guards too. His violence escalates, and the people begin to resent him, no longer seeing him as their prince. Beneath his rage, Loki hides his sadness. Not long after, he throws himself into the sun world. He throws himself off the sun world into the underworld, trying to end his own life. But he survives. His body is too strong. Lying there, he weeps, tearing the bandages from his eyes and muttering to himself, I can't even pass away. What did you guys think of this part of the chat? And we'll start with Sep this time.
All right. The regular citizens of One Piece nations be pieces of crap. I be realizing that. Like, why are you teasing Harald about his status as a prince? Like, why are you doing that? Like, I don't know why. Like, what do you gain from that? like, what do you? You're just some bodyguard, bro. Like, what do you gain from that? What are you happy about that? Loki acting a fool when his dad is not around is funny as hell to me because I used to do the same thing. So I get it. Loki trying to clip himself honestly reminded me of Kaido, but much sadder. He's basically trying to give the people and his mother what they want, but even though he's tried, he can't even die. Like, he's too strong. He's physically incapable of doing it. Like, that's so tragic. And, like, to me, Loki lashes out in part because, and, like, he sticks to the prince thing, because it's the one thing that he gets from the community that he's in, that he's a positive. I'm the prince. I'm the king's son. I am Harald's true heir. I am of ancient blood. It's the one thing that he gets from Elbaf that's a positive, like, feedback, positive reinforcement. So he sticks to it. It's like mutated into this negative thing now that he feels the need to bully Harald over it. And, like, he lashes out at Harald, and even more so because when he does, Harald is protected by the friends that he's able to gather just from being himself. Well, Loki can't even create these friends. He can't create these bonds. He has to basically link with these animals here. I did also notice, like, do y'all think he clipped his uncle?
Oh, 100%.
I think he did it.
Yeah, as soon as I read that, I was like, Loki took him out.
I think Loki did that, bro. Cause screw his uncle. I was like, bet. I'm happy he's gone.
No.
You don't think so? Okay.
I think it's not a part of his character.
I will say, Oda typically, if he wants a person to be looked at as a good character, he won't just have them murder somebody like that. So I want to say he did it just cause I don't care, but, like, it's, I like that Harald was able to connect the branches, all 8 branches. Like, he's doing the work in the country now. But he's doing a lot of work outside the nation. He's doing the work within the nation to help it from the inside. Him saying, like, he has a dream. I was like, yo, Martin Luther.
I have a dream.
Martin Luther Harald, man.
But one day our people.
I thought that was great.
Black people. White people.
And then.
And all those across the land.
How do I say this? This is probably a little premature on this part. But Loki and Rock's relationship actually seems to remind me of the relationship Doflamingo had with Law and Bellamy. And I don't know if you guys see that, but I see it a little bit.
Oh, I can see that.
They both Rox and Loki?
Yeah.
Resemble Doflamingo and Bellamy?
Not just Bellamy, but Law too. So
I would say more Law.
Yeah. So it's like both, because they both grew up idolizing the wrong man. They both grew up idolizing Doflamingo. Dofi was willing to manipulate and use that idolization for his own benefit in both cases, both Bellamy and Law. Rock seemingly didn't care, you know what I mean, to have children, like, in the way of his ambitions. Law wanted to, like, was fated to die early because of the white lead disease that he had, and wanted to take his frustrations out on the world, while Loki was physically too powerful to even die, and as a result wanted to take his frustrations out on the world that refused to accept him. So it's like mirror opposites of the same frustration. I'm wondering, like, if we're gonna dive deeper into that in the story between them, but I saw that. I thought that was interesting. But honestly, like, Loki jumping down, bro, is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yo, you're returning back to, like, your first day of birth, like your first moments. You got tossed by your mom, and now, like, she's gone. You should be past this. Hopefully, you'd be past this, but there goes Harald again, not being there, not being around to look after you. And I know you're acting up, and you're a child. You don't really know better, but this is how he's dealing with it. This is how he's processing it, and he's led himself to this. And he's like, I can't even die. It's not just that he's trying to do it; it's why he's trying to do it, and that he's realizing, yo, I can't even do it. I can't even give y'all what y'all want if I wanted to. Y'all hate me so much. Y'all curse me. Y'all think I'm the worst thing that's ever happened. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't end it all. Yeah. And it's just, it's heartbreaking. So yeah. It's just rough. So that's it for me. But
all right, Law.
Yeah. One, I believe he took out his uncle. I believe he may have even took out the horse too, right? Out of like anger and rage or hate
What's
or
wrong
whatever.
with y'all, bro?
I believe Loki may have
Oh my
both.
god.
Right?
He talking about us. He talking about Clifton.
Yeah,
but Loki's not rocks.
No reason. He wanna be rocks.
He don't want to be rock.
He wanna be rocks, bro.
And also the worst
He said, "Nah, Loris took the horse out too for no reason."
I can't. Because also, where he passed away was in the underworld.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like his domain, Loki.
Yeah, bro.
You know, so I'm like, I saw that he did that, right? And so I believe he did it. And Harald, like you bring out, Sebastian, he united Elbaf in a way where they're able to trade amongst each other instead of just raiding each other. They're able to trade, right? And I think that's dope because it kind of reminded me of, like, you know, when you have things divided, you unite them. But also made me think of you're king, right? But in a way, they're still not united. They're united as they recognize you as king, but they're not united as a nation, right? To help and support each other. It's more like they would fend for themselves when it came down to it, which we saw when the famine happened. So now him doing this, showing us why they view him as such a great king. He united a way, not only I'm your king, but I wasn't just sitting in power. I united us in a way that we could actually prosper with other countries and amongst each other, right? By making these trade routes for us by building them. So I thought that was pretty dope. And him seeing this dream and setting it. So this actually ties it to, because I was going to say it before, but actually it's better that I'll save it for here. This reminds me of Joy Boy in the Ancient Kingdom, what Harald's doing, and why I'll think of why the world government probably is like dismissing him or trying to fight against him. Because if you think about it, right, the similarities between what Elbaf is doing and what Joy Boy is doing, or was trying to do, I say for them, right? Joy Boy, we all know, right? They said he was the first pirate, right? So you think what a pirate is, he goes around sailing to each island, country, whatever, right? But isn't that what Harald's kind of doing? He's not a pirate, but he has a ship, and he's sailing out to each country or each village or each town or whatever you want to put it, each island, right? But notice how similarities is that Harald's trying to make trade and peace with people, make these connections with people, where we'll find out through Vegapunk that what the Ancient Kingdom or Joy Boy wanted to do in a way was share power, right? With what they had, the advanced civilization, and even down to the ancient weapons, they said they weren't built for us. They were built for everyone. Sharing power, right? Sharing trade, uniting the world to share it and then grow for it, right? So it reminded me of what Harald is doing is different in a way because they're not sharing power, but they're sharing in a way where everyone can prosper. And that's what the Ancient Kingdom was doing. And that's what I talked about, like, their ideas is what the world government, those 20 kingdoms, did not like. For some reason, this shared thing about crops, resources, and power, the world government, those 20 kingdoms, did not want to do that at all. They wanted, why they fought against it, because to me, like, you guys should benefit from this as well, but they don't want to do that. They kind of want, no, we want to be the ones ruling power. We want to control it. So the same way where we saw later on Harald getting clipped by unknown sources, but see in the same way where they thought to attack. He's doing something similar to what Joy Boy is doing because Harald is not a pirate, but he's setting out to sea from his own country and sharing what he knows with other people. That's exactly what Joy Boy as a pirate was doing with the Ancient Kingdoms. So I saw similarities there and why...
I can agree with that.
Huh?
I agree with that, yeah.
So I thought it was pretty dope, like in that way. Right? It's like that inherited will, so to speak. Right? And, yeah, I said the same thing to you. Like, they're just kind of... And these are the guards, too. They're coming at Hadruden for his blood or whatever. But they did speak, like, in our time, where a lot of people in Elbaf didn't fully accept Ida. Some did, and some didn't. For whatever, because she's not even a giant from Elbaf, apparently. You know? And she doesn't have the ancient blood, and also the royal line. So it's like, you're going against all of that. Right, and then Loki, Loki kind of like it's crazy how they said it became like a custom. Look out, King Harald is gone. On other words, you know what this means. You know what I'm saying? Lock your doors, put up the boards right there because Loki's about to go rampage. Right, and she's showing how he's kind of like Sebastian brought up. He's lashing out. He's terrorizing them because of how he feels. Right, about his mother and everything. Right, and even to the point where like he's like talking down to Hadruden and everyone attacking everybody. But notice how Also, part of the reason why he's getting away with it, they're not attacking Loki. They're not fighting him because he's Prince. It's kind of like, for example, how where Harald, when he was running amok, no one really touched him. They kind of just let Harald do what he wanted, younger Harald, when he was 15, because he was Prince and King, right? So Loki's in a way kind of getting that same treatment. The only difference is Loki's attached to a curse while Harald wasn't, right? But the behavior is kind of the same, right? You're terrorizing it, right? But the only thing is that a lot of it, Loki's viewed as because of the curse that his mom said that he had.
Loki seemed
right?
a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
But I feel you.
But it's because the hate and anger that was instilled from his mom at a young age, he's kind of like taking it out on Elbaf and saying that we need to be warriors and all that stuff like that. Like even talking, maybe for attention or whatever, right? Because even, I noticed the weapon, you link it to like Kaido, him jumping off too. Even the weapon he's using is Kaido's like choice of weapon too. So very similarities there, right? But I noticed here too is that Loki didn't attack Hadruden's friends, right? Like Gerd and them. But also too, I think what part of it was sparked Loki's feeling, whatever. Because you think he's going, and no matter what, you couldn't feel this void of what his mom left, right? But when you see the mother holding the child, look at Loki's face. Mm-hmm. He starts thinking about his mom. And how that point, but the void, this hole that his mom left in him is not being filled. That while he's rampaging, taking out everybody, he sees a mother holding his child, looking at Loki with disdain. Not the same way his mom did, but she's in protective mode while sustained. So you see him like, Loki has this grievous look on his face. Then right after that, he jumps off. But also, too, I want to do a little more on him jumping off because Loki, before he jumped off, he knew this wouldn't take him out. Because this is the kind of spot his mom threw him off when he was a baby. And he climbed up and then fell down again. So Loki knows this is not going to take him out. It's kind of like, but also remember, where he kind of found refuge, his home, his place, was the underworld. So kind of this is like his isolated spot to return to like be away from everybody and to feel at home.
This would be the equivalent of like self-harm, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like cutting yourself or something.
Yeah. Because he knows it's not going to take him out. So he kind of just like, just jumps off it to like, that's almost his way of travel there, knowing it's not going to take him out, but this is where it's like to be alone and also to like, feel something, whatever, because all this is acting out to try to feel something, right? And he even mentions like this fall, I've done it so many times, doesn't even faze me, or doesn't even like I can't even die from it, right? And then, oh yeah, that's where you left off, right? Yeah, that's where you left off. So, I think that's all I wanted to say.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, man, Loki's uncle passed away because he traveled to the underworld and he couldn't survive it.
That's very possible.
That's literally what happened. I'm telling you right now, everything in Loki's character never is going to bring that to that forefront, that he murks people. That's not going to happen. He's not the type. Everybody that knows Loki for what he is knows he's a good person inside. He's just mentally unstable because of his mom still passing away and also how he's been treated by people that are a part of her family. And this is where it's really interesting for boys that grow up without moms or like terrible moms. It's really traumatic for us as men. We look for that comfort in our mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we lose our dad, it means like, you know, we miss a dad. We don't know how to grow up and be a man. That's true. I think both roles are very important, but I think that, you know, they say your first love is your mom, right? As a guy, and then for a chick, your first love is your dad. So it just works in opposite ways. I think that happens to each person, like gender-wise. I will say, Kaido looked like Harald too much, dog. Yo, I hate to do it to you, but like that picture, that's Kaido, dog. Like same mustache, same everything, man, except the eyebrows. Like Kaido just doesn't have eyebrows, but it looks exactly like that. Like the skin flaps that go over his eyes look exactly like that. It's he's that, bro. I agree with everything that you said, Law. Straight up. The dream, the possibility, all that. That's 100% true. Loki reminded me of Usopp. The way he would go through town and everybody would just hide. Causing trouble. That's one of the many similarities you said throughout all the Straw Hats. Mm-hmm. I do want to say it's really tough to be Loki because, one, his brother is not a prince. Elbaf doesn't necessarily like him just because of that. But through that, he still has friends. Loki doesn't. And he has a mom. Loki doesn't. So he's not actually fighting Haruden because he hates him. He hates the fact that he's less of a prince, yet he's still more loved than Loki is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the mom factor is huge. And Ida's a wonderful mom. Very supportive. Ida's probably reached out to Loki on many occasions just to like see what's up. But he's like, yo, you're not my mom. You know what I'm saying? When I first read this, I was a little emotional because I was just like, man.
I mean, he was drinking.
I was like, bruh, anytime One Piece happens to come to like children, it's always terrible, you know? Like, you have Law, who had to sit under the bodies of his classmates because the world government decided to like isolate his country and murder the people because they made up a false narrative that this white lead disease was going to infect others. You have people like Baby Five, who her mom literally gave her up for like scraps because they couldn't live comfortably. You have, I hate to say it, people won't agree, but like the Doflamingo situation where, you know, Homing left the Holy Land and look what his kids went through, forced him to murk his own dad. His mom passed away in that process too. You have Ace, who didn't believe he was meant to be alive. He had to question his existence, and Garp told him, well, you know, bro, you're gonna have to answer that question for yourself. And then he found the answer, right? And then you have people like Robin, who sat at the edge of a cliff, wanted to end her existence because of the things that happened with O'Hara and her need to survive, and people kept betraying her. And then you got, you know, one of the earliest, it's like Ronya, willing to give her life for the history of Elbaf. If that's what it meant, take my life. And now we have Loki, and Loki's lived his life being disparaged by his own family, and then he sees somebody that's not considered worth anything, and he has family that loves him, and his mom just happened to be such a horrible person, and he misses her. He wishes he could actually receive the love from her, but he never will be able to get that chance because she passed away. And to a degree, he's probably thinking the reason why she passed away was because of him. So it's like, I murked my mom. My dad is never around to love me the right way. I have my mom's family who constantly berates me, and I've been being abused my entire life. What's the point? Like, let me just end this, bro. So he tries to end his life, notices it doesn't work, and breaks down because even now his own strength that he's so proud of is used against him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, damn. So I know when he meets Rox is probably going to be like extremely impulsive and aggressive and ruthless. But I think Rox is going to show Loki that having the strength that he has is going to lead him to replace that hole that his mom has put into him. Mm-hmm. He's going to learn that through Rox, even though people might not like you, might not fully agree with you, they're going to respect you enough to follow you. And that's where you'll find your happiness. And that's the lesson he's going to bestow upon Loki. And then Loki's going to think for himself, well, I want to join your crew. And then Rox is like, yo, you're not strong enough. So then he's going to challenge him to a fight. And then he's going to beat him down so bad to show Loki that your strength actually isn't what you think it is. You actually have to get stronger because people like me could take that away from you. And that's when Loki's going to grow up and idolize him to the point where, yo, King Harald, you can't link up with the ops because they hurt the person I idolize. And that's why he continues to be the dick that he is. You know what I'm saying?
Language.
My bad. To be the yeah. Horse that he is. So it's like, I'm telling you, I think this is what it really is for him.
Yeah, it could very well be.
Yeah. But what's
question,
up?
Though.
part of the I didn't say it, but part of the reasons why, and it could just be like he never healed. But said when Harald saw his son, right? He said he's covered in bruises, right? And then later on, we kind of still see little marks on Loki and the bandages. Do you think his uncle had anything to do with those?
Yeah.
Or they're just
everything.
Is he even strong enough?
I mean, if you use something large enough.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He definitely does still have bandages on him.
Because especially the middle one,
yeah,
he is murked up, all in the face.
Yeah, he's been being beat for a while, man. Even when he's older, he's getting beat.
Yeah.
He's been getting, and then Harald apparently is going, yo, my kid always got bruises. He's just a kid. Meanwhile, like...
He don't see him, bro. He don't see them.
Yeah, he's not even there.
He don't see them bruises, man. He got bruises. What? Huh? Bruises? Who said something about bruises?
All right, so guys, this is what we're going to do. We have about 35 minutes left. So what I'm going to do is jump right into the final part of the chapter, and then we're going to do all the super chats after. I just want to get through this. I want to talk about it. I want to sit on it, and then we'll do the super chats after. So we apologize, okay? All right. For the final part of the chapter, we cut to Loki, who's sitting on the ground visibly upset. Laying on the ground visibly upset. In the distance, a mountain is suddenly sliced in half. We overhear a voice asking, "What's up with this Elbaf? How do we even get inland?" The animals of the underworld grow uneasy. Loki sits up as a group of figures approaches. One of them says, "There we go. Look, it's a giant kid. So this is Elbaf." Then we see a young Shiki, who bursts out laughing and says, "This one looks downright demonic." Loki looks down, sadness still on his face. That's when Whitebeard speaks up, remarking, "He's too big to be a giant. Is he crying?" We then get a full reveal of the silhouetted figures, followed by narration. It says, "This man, whom Harald met at the Reverie 8 years ago, defeated a Navy headquarters admiral and fled. He murked him. The world government has now placed a heavy bounty on his head." Finally, we see the official debut of Rox D. Zebek, flanked by Stussy, Shiki, and Whitebeard. Rox grins and addresses Loki. "All right, brat, you're going to say twice. You're going to say yes twice because that's the answer I want to hear. Question 1, is Elbaf really the land of giants? Is this Elbaf?" And then question 2, is Harald here? Below his name, it's revealed Rox D. Zebek, father of Blackbeard. And we'll start with Lo. What did you think of the ending of this chapter, gang?
Okay, yeah, the hyped up, finally, Rock's big reveal. For the people who are saying, like, for the mountain part, that they believe that Rox did it using, an ability. One, from this angle, I don't see a weapon on Rox. I don't know if he just uses, like, his own fighting style or he uses a sword or whatever, but I don't see one. Maybe in a different panel we'll see one. So I don't know if he cut that because I don't see a sword or whatever on him to do that. It could have been the ones who are carrying, every one of them, like Whitebeard, Shiki, and Stussy, are all carrying a weapon. It could have been one of them. I don't know if Rox did it. And for people saying, oh, because he's looking at the two fingers, in his speech, he says twice.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's why he put up the two fingers, because he said, you're going to say yes twice. So for that one to go with that. And the animals, as they approached, I wonder if they're too scared to attack because they haven't attacked yet or whatever. But we saw them when Luffy or whatever, they were kind of quick to attack. But them, I wonder if they're just like, we sensed them. Like, I was like, nah,
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I know. You have a lot of hitters right here, or they backed off, right? And I saw to me, going into like Whitebeard's nature, he's concerned about Loki crying. Like, and the one chance he said, "Why are you crying?" But this was just like, is he crying? Like, kind of curious. That's what stood out to him. Like, Shiki, shut up, his eyes look demonic. But Whitebeard's like, nah, this kid is crying. Like, what's going on, right? And I will say, to me, when I first read this, I was hyped. And it came off very boss to me, though. Rox, when he came off, you're going to say yes to these two questions, right? And it came off. And then his look, he does look very strong, right? And so going back to like the other person I thought of, right? Small little theory. I wonder if the royalty that Harald mentioned that let him in, that snuck him in, is Rox, right? The only reason why I say that is because Harald mentions about another royal let me in. And then right here it says this man whom Harald met at the Reverie 8 years earlier. So I was thinking in my head, is Rox the royal that Harald let Harald into the Reverie? Because it was like, why would Rox be there? How would you sneak in that no one else?
I could tell you.
Like, you know, like you just pulled up, whatever. Because I'm thinking that's very alarming. But if you're already royalty, right, you would be able to go there, right, and then kind of state your piece. Because like it's very noticeable, like well, then also so I want to add, notice how it says future captain of the Rocks Pirates. So that's also why my belief is saying he may be royalty now and not necessarily a full-on pirate yet, because it says future. So that means he may not be considered either a pirate or the Rocks Pirates yet. You know, I don't know if he has his banner up or he's just kind of like traveling, doing whatever he wants, because he seems like the person that does that anyway, right? So I was just like, I wonder if he's the royal because he's not named as a pirate yet. And that leads me to believe, where I kind of believe, going to the discussion you guys were having, I believe Rox and Whitebeard kind of go way, way, way back. I think they've known each other for years, of why they've also been together for so long, right? And hence why I think like he rides with Rox. So that's been my dude from day one, right? And going by that mindset, I can see why, for example, with Whitebeard's own words, we're saying, dude, I'm not like, you're not my captain. You're like my best friend. Kind of like, we have this relationship where we kind of did things together. We've always been together, right? So it's like, so he kind of like goes with the Rocks because we've been together since day one, you know? Like, I don't know, like almost you could kind of say like a Sengoku and Garp thing, but like they joined the Marines. But I think Whitebeard and Rox's relationship goes deeper as in how long they've been together. So it seems like Whitebeard rode with Rox until the end. Like, as until Rox passed away. That's why I believe it wasn't just like he met later on and recruited him. I think, no, they go back before that, before they even were. And it could be the fact that he was royalty and Whitebeard has some, not ties with that, but like they met, like, say, like, for example, Royal Line, Rox is an example of Sabo. As in, he's in royalty, but like, I don't really care about that royal stuff, but I'm going to use it to my advantage. It's just how Blackbeard would do it, right? Sabo wouldn't do it that way, but Blackbeard would, right? And he had a best friend who wasn't royalty, Whitebeard, you know, and they teamed up. Like, yo, I like the way you do things. And they met up very young age, and they kind of started doing things together. And Rox is just a wild dude. But Whitebeard's just like, hey, I don't know about to, not nothing better to do, but it's like, they just vibe together, whatever, right?
I think that they actually just rode up to the Reverie because he wanted to go to the Reverie and do something crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He just had magic?
Yeah, it's part of his personality because he did it to God Valley.
Yeah.
And then if we take it from the Sabo and the revolutionary perspective, where they went to Marijoa during a reverie and in order to free slaves and to commit war on the world government, I can see that Rox was like, yo, we're going to do this. That's what I want to do. No, so we're going to do that. And then in the meantime, he takes out an admiral.
Yeah. I can know, because I see that with him, very impulsive. You hear, I mean, they jacked you, immediately you show up to, like you said, God Valley, just to get back what's yours. No second thought about it, you just kind of jump in head first. And it's funny because I remember you talk about like how Rox, and it was like similar to like Luffy, right? But it makes me laugh that we find that he's Blackbeard's dad, which is funny. There's a bunch of theories came out, which we kind of deduced that doesn't make sense. It was kind of like how you put it, kind of like cliche, you know? Because the same way, for example, but Oda didn't go that route. If Roger was Luffy's father, right? That would be too cool, the cliche thing, but Oda didn't go that route. This way is the more that. So I think we all had kind of a theory, but we didn't speak much of it because we're kind of not hoping he didn't go that way, but we kind of saw it, you know? For some strange reasons, we kind of saw a similarity between, before we even got this reveal, Rox and Blackbeard. But the Luffy aspect, because Luffy and Blackbeard are similar but also opposites in a lot of ways, you know? But we do know their impulsiveness and how they do things are similar, right? So, and we saw that when they first met Blackbeard and Luffy. So now we see that where Blackbeard gets it from is his dad, right? Because he's saying that, and then also where Luffy gets it from Garp. But also, it's part of their nature because Luffy also gets that part of their D-Clan because Roger's like that way. So I don't know if it's just a D-Clan thing, but like, we know the D-Clan members, especially if you're a Conquerors, most of them are impulsive. They kind of just do whatever. We have Roger, we have Rox, we have Luffy, we have Garp, and we have Ace.
Only person is probably not Dragon.
Yeah, he's kind of the more mellow
like,
out.
I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna let people take advantage of me.
Okay. But yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool. And I think that's all I have for now.
All right. Sebi?
Why you gotta do that?
Seb?
Why you gotta do that?
Come on, man.
All right, I'm not gonna have time to get into all the stuff that I wanted to get into, considering how much time we have left.
I had to hold it.
That is the Yami Yami no Mi, if y'all didn't know, Blackbeard's Devil Fruit. Shout out to Jay in Japan for gifting me that a couple episodes back. I'll say I was extremely hyped when this happened. I'm not gonna troll too much. I know I got Larry holding the Yami Yami, but I'm not gonna do too much. I'm not gonna do too much with this.
There's nothing there for you to troll anyway.
There's a lot.
But go ahead.
There's a lot. This can mean a lot for Blackbeard as far as the upscale goes. We talk about lineage in One Piece and what it could mean for him as far as being one of the endgame villains and how strong he's going to be. This is a slight upscale for him. I'll say that. A lot of parents aren't, like, that doesn't mean that you're going to be super strong. There's a lot of weak kids or whatever to strong parents in One Piece.
Momo's one of them.
I do believe Blackbeard is going to be extremely strong, and I do believe his ties with rocks do say something about that strength. But with the reveal that Blackbeard is Rox' son, we have to recontextualize several conversations in One Piece history. Now, a lot of conversation has been brought up. It's been brought up in Super Chats already, and I'm going to try to get through this really quickly. I don't think, personally, that Whitebeard knew that Rox was Blackbeard's father. In chapter 576, he is seen reminiscing about a conversation he had with Roger. In that convo, Whitebeard says, I run into guys with the D name now and then. I've got one in my crew by the name of Teach. What does the D mean? To me, if Whitebeard knew that Blackbeard was Rox's son, this conversation would have went slightly different.
I agree.
It can be said that this conversation in general might need a bit of a retcon now that Rox exists in the series in general. And his presence in both Whitebeard and Roger's lives. But still, I will say Shanks' conversation with Whitebeard about Ace is also recontextualized. That is now the son of Figurling Garling telling Whitebeard to stop the son of Pirate King Gold Roger from attacking the son of Rox D. Zebek. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached nepotism peace. It is here. All the Yonko seemingly have legendary father figures except Buggy. Who is Buggy's hidden pops? Emu, perhaps? I don't know, but could just be the odd man out. He is the joke Yonko, after all. Lawrence brought it up. Why was Rox at the Reverie in the first place? Was he a king? Blackbeard wants to be a king, possibly because his father was once royalty. Why did he clip that admiral? I feel like there's a deeper meaning behind these actions that hopefully will be uncovered one day. But off-paneling an admiral as a young pirate is crazy. I know Luffy technically is only 19 and capable of beating admirals, but Rox clipping one at a Reverie is probably the craziest thing anyone's ever done to start their pirating career. I was really trying to think, like, who's done wilder stuff? Like, Luffy punched the Celestial Dragon. This is crazier than that. Because the threat of punching a Celestial Dragon is that an admiral will come. So it's like you punched a Celestial Dragon and then dealt with the consequences of punching one. Mm-hmm. And then you handled it. That's wild, bruh. People were trying to say, oh, it's like he just assassinated them. And why do y'all always do that? I got you, Larry.
I hate that.
They try to downplay it.
Every time. They always downplay people that actually do something and then hype up Mihawk's bum ass for no reason.
They were trying to tell me that an admiral feared the consequences of what the Celestial Dragons would do to them more than dying by the hands of a pirate.
It's just ridiculous.
It's nonsense. You're gonna go all out once you're about to die. Yep. Rox took out an admiral. That's the point. He's supposed to have that level of strength.
Real quick, did you guys see the whole thing? It's like Rox off-paneled an admiral. He's really Blackbeard's dad.
Yo, that's facts. Oh man, I did want to say, like, I was so hyped about this. I didn't get spoiled on it. I was really upset about that. I was happy you didn't. I know.
Yeah, I don't get spoiled like
that. I was so tight about that, man. I got spoiled, but I was really hyped to read it. As far as what this means, I have a little bit I want to say here about Ace and Blackbeard. So I might take a little bit here for Larry, my bad. But something I try to embrace on the podcast and in life is that new context provides better understanding. In the case of Ace and Blackbeard, I think we've been given the final puzzle piece that makes their inverse storylines complete. Few rivalries in One Piece are as symbolically loaded as Ace and Blackbeard. These two men are bound by fate, bloodlines, and brotherhood, yet stand in as complete inverses of one another. Their choices, beliefs, and ultimate ends mirror and distort each other in profound ways. These two characters aren't just connected by fate and circumstance, but serve as direct foils, embodying opposing ideologies and symbolic dualities within the same world. Both Ace and Teach are the sons of legendary pirates. Ace, the son of Goldie Roger, born into a curse, a living reminder of the man the world called a demon. He rejected his lineage and even his name, taking his mother's name, who sacrificed her life for his, living with the belief that Roger had no right to be a father. Instead, he found a new name, Portgas, and eventually a new father, Whitebeard. Teach has now been confirmed to be the son of Roxy Xebec. Lived his life chasing the very legacy the world attempted to destroy. Where Ace ran from the past, Teach ran toward it, embracing the darkest ambition imaginable, to become the next Rox and rule the world. As such, both men hid their surnames, and yet for opposite reasons. Ace out of shame and grief, Teach out of secrecy, strategy, and ambition. Both men sailed under Whitebeard, a man who had strong connections to their biological dads, a crewmate of Rox, and a rival to Roger. Whitebeard would become their adoptive patriarch. Ace rose to lead the Whitebeard Pirates' 2nd Division, earning respect through raw strength and camaraderie. He wholeheartedly embraced Whitebeard's dream of family and equality. Blackbeard, while also technically in the 2nd Division, remained in the black background, lurking under the same flag for decades, biding his time and manipulating the structure of that family for personal gain. Ace found purpose in loyalty, becoming the embodiment of Whitebeard's ideals. Teach weaponized opportunity and became the undoing of everything Whitebeard stood for. The clearest contrast these two come from their symbolism. Ace represents the sun, literally his Mera no Mi, a flame-based power illuminating all. He was warm, explosive, and ultimately self-sacrificial. His fire burned brightly, but briefly. Blackbeard is the embodiment of darkness, wielding the Yami Yami no Mi, and a power that consumes light itself. He is patient, cunning, and selfish, operating in secrecy and manipulations. Ace radiated a selfless flame. Teach absorbed as a selfish void. Ace died protecting his brother and father figure. Teach killed both. One of the most defining moments in their diverging paths comes from Marineford, when Whitebeard tells Teach to his face, "It's not you, the man Roger is waiting for is definitely not you, Teach." This line severs any illusion that Teach's destiny is heroic. Despite his ambitions to become the next Rox, the next Pirate King, or even the next King of the World, Whitebeard, the man who sailed the same seas as Roger, did battle with him, and grew close enough to be let in on the history and future of the world, knows the truth. Teach is not Joy Boy. On the other hand, Goldie Roger himself believed his son would be the one to carry on his will and bring the dawn. Ace, ironically, was the true heir to Roger's dream, not by blood, but by spirit. The tragedy, Ace rejected that destiny, never understanding his father's will well enough to pursue it. Teach deludes himself into thinking it was his, no matter the cost. Where Ace's journey was about letting go of his past and choosing a family bond bound by love, Blackbeard was about chasing a legacy and betraying everyone in his path for power. Ace in Whitebeard found the father he wished Roger could have been. Teach in Whitebeard found a stepping stone to become the next Xebec, not a son, but a usurper. One found peace by surrendering to brotherhood, the other found purpose by forsaking it. Ace and Blackbeard's storylines reflect some of the core themes of One Piece: legacy, identity, ambition, and family. They show how two individuals can be forged in the same crucible, sons of demons, molded by the same ship, and yet emerge as ideological opposites. Ultimately, the sun set on Ace's life just as darkness rose in Teach's. Their clash wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. A battle between chosen love and inherited hunger. Between light that gave warmth and darkness that devours all. The story of Ace and Blackbeard is not just about two pirates, it's a meditation on choice in the face of legacy. One man ran from his past and died trying to protect his brother's future. The other embraced the sins of history and lives on trying to become history's new author. One questioned whether he even had the right to be born, carrying a fiery will worthy of the late Pirate King. The other believes he is worthy, but is nothing more than a shadow chasing the sun. In the end, Ace's light went out too soon, and Blackbeard's darkness still looms over the world. For now.
Mess with it.
Yeah,
I like it.
All right, I have another thing, but I don't have time. So I gotta let you have your thing. The next thing I'll have to do on next Monday. It's about. I have a theory about Rox and Roger, and I have a thought process or analysis on Whitebeard's journey from seeking brothers to becoming a father. I'll get into that later. But Larry, I did want to give you the opportunity to speak on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Listen, man, I was hyped. I was happy. I love that Rox got announced. I love the way he looks, honestly. I was unsure about the highlights at first, but he just looks dope, bro. He's like the Blackbeard that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the fact that Shiki looks amazing. I love, Whitebeard's look. He looks amazing. Stussy. I've said it multiple times. There's a lot of parallels. Or a lot of similarities with Rox and Luffy. And if you look at it, Whitebeard would be his Zoro, Shiki would be his Sanji, and Stussy would be his Nami. And it fits because he's like leading the pack. Now, there's been many of times where Zoro has questioned Luffy, especially at Water 7, when he told Luffy, "You're not letting Usopp back onto the crew." I could see the dynamic also happening with Rox and Whitebeard. Rox and Whitebeard. But the thing is, I know at the end of the day, if Zoro and Luffy fought, Luffy's going to win. I think the same thing for Rox and Whitebeard. If Rox and them fought, Rox would win. Even though it says the future captain of the Rox Pirates, it just means that he does become the captain, right? No matter what Whitebeard wants to say about him not being his captain, at the end of the day, he's going to be the captain. This is, if we want to go by titles and definition, then there's no other way than to say, hey, this is completely true. Now, for the event of him being Blackbeard's father, I feel like so many people get it confused with me hating Blackbeard. I do not hate Blackbeard. I actually love Blackbeard as a character. I love his character overall. But do I love his fans and the overhype that comes with him when narration doesn't serve that purpose? No, I do not like his fans. It is completely different from not liking Blackbeard. I love Blackbeard. I love that he's in the story. I do not have a problem with Rox being his dad. Sometimes your kids are disappointments. That's okay. Even if Buggy happens to be the son of Rox, and Buggy and Blackbeard happen to be half brothers, and they're both Yonko. That makes the story kind of cool for me. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be kind of dope. But do I bring Rox down because of those two? No. Does it give Blackbeard an upscale because genetically, through lineage, it has been proven on many occasions that Conqueror's Haki is passed down? Yes, it does give him an upscale, but does it mean that Blackbeard technically is going to get it? No. Why? Big Mom has 86 kids. She has 85 kids. One of them has it. I can't tell you. It's a possibility, of course. Is he supposed to be endgame? Most likely. But are there people better situated for his position? Yes, Emu's better endgame villain than Blackbeard. Like, does he display Conqueror's, things about him? No. Nope. So for me, there's very clear situations where Rox is that guy. He's been that guy. You guys did this with Shanks. You guys did this with a couple other people, right? When a character gives you something and you decide not to accept it because you think something else works better, that's when it falls on your disappointment. And I have a very good gauge of what people are going to be in the future. And I've never ruled out the possibility of Blackbeard not having Conqueror's Haki. I'm just saying at this point, through many, many, many examples, he just doesn't follow that. Mm-hmm. Even if he is Rox's son, I don't technically think that makes him greater because, honestly, like they said, the sins of the father shouldn't fall upon the son. And that works with the qualities of your son, too. Look at Loki. He's a D-bag. Meanwhile, Harald's the best person ever. You know what I'm saying? It's just, for me, I want Blackbeard to be better. I hope he resembles Rox. I don't think Rox has the Opie no Mi. I technically think who sliced that mountain was Shiki. I'm not even joking. I think Shiki sliced the mountain. I don't think the Opie no Mi is a better devil fruit suited for him. I'll be honest. If he doesn't have a devil fruit, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. I think the Yami might have been in his possession. Cool. But if he does have the Yami, I know the Haki's backing it. And that's going to make him a monster, right? The same way I think Whitebeard's a monster. I would like for him not to have a devil fruit just because the strongest people in the show seem to just not have devil fruits. And that's what it is. Joy Boy, probably, he most likely had the Nika fruit.
Yeah.
Strongest Conqueror Haki user, might be the strongest of all time because Emu was on all fours. But for me, I just would like him not to have the Yami. But if he does, that's not an issue. So... That's what all I gotta say, man.
I'll say this.
Rox's era, right? It wasn't Whitebeard's era. It wasn't Joy Boy's era. It wasn't Roger's era. You know what I'm saying? Akainu said it to Whitebeard's face. Failure, bro. Okay. All right? That's why Ace had to turn around because his daddy didn't have the feats.
He said the Whitebeard's face.
Okay. I got 10 minutes to read like 80 super chats. Like we gotta do.
Just saying.
But I will say,
y'all better respect.
I will say, I'm a guy who sticks with the narrative in general. There is probably even a better story to tell with Blackbeard not having Conqueror's Haki.
Hey, and you know
based
what?
Off how he acts.
And you know what?
It's true.
Give me your favorite character and tell me what's a better feat than killing an admiral in the Holy Land. All right? Tell me. Let me know. Put any character against Rox right now. And tell me what feat they got better than murking an admiral in Holy Land.
We gotta read these.
I want my chips with a dip.
I want my chips with a dip. So bring them dips.
Oh, man.
No, you can't.
Care, man.
9 minutes, bro.
Bro pulled up to the Holy Land and said, it's me. Big drop.
Sorry.
I want to hear nothing, man. Y'all can eat one, bro.
And then
That's it, man.
Then he had Blackbeard. We got another. You're gonna tell all the super chats now. I'm gonna try to speed run these guys. I'm sorry if I'm reading too fast. From J.M. Talbo, it says $2. Hashtag Larry the horse expert. Bro doing retcon for law. LOL. We got another 5 from Desty. It says. Larry always had great takes, and now he won me over with his latest live reaction. I enjoy the passion you have. It's inspiring. Hashtag L Gang for life. Hashtag Larry Tags.
Yo, this might be one of those characters, bro.
Yeah. Another DGZ from $5. It says, Blackbeard's price is not yesterday's price. Hashtag Larry Tags. Hashtag Free the Latinas.
Price is not today's price.
Another 10 from Xavier Dilly. Sup, guys? Theory. I always wondered how young Blackbeard knew what his gold devil fruit looked like. Was he Prince of Hachinosu and his dad, the king, allowed to attend the reverie and access to the royal library? Literature. Very possible. Another 2 from Jada Rude. Sabo's dad is top 3 dads in the verse. Hashtag low bar. Another 5 from Davion Plays. Law beefs with Bon Clay should be studied. He's the realist in the show. Love you guys. Hashtag Saucy Sebtana. Hashtag
What?
He invited to my cookout. Terrible. Another 5 from Lord Franco. Who's your favorite character design so far in the story? I think Rox might have just took the first for me. Hashtag Pumping the Whitebeard Larry. Hashtag,
And he got that neck.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that strong neck that all the strong characters have. He got that, bro.
BBL Sebi. Wiper, Kaido, Katakuri, Doflamingo. I'll just name a couple off the top. Another 5 from D Roof. It says, finally made a live stream for the first time. Based on what's currently going on in the manga, who do you think is the final villain, Emu or Blackbeard? Emu still, for me.
Emu, yeah.
Another 20 from SCDB615. Whitebeard is Rox's Garp and a worse dad than Garp. Whitebeard let his best friend's kid murk his captain and his other best friend's kid all under his watch and didn't try to stop either of them. Garp at least was torn up about it.
Stop.
We have no idea that he knew that they were a kid.
It doesn't matter if he knew or not, but that's just not the story.
We can't disrespect Whitebeard like that.
Another 5 from Alan Wells. Like with Big Mom on the rooftop, Zoro's gonna do something in Elbaf that's gonna get a big surprise reaction out of Emu Fire. Hashtag his Advanced Conqueror's Haki will impress her. Maybe. Another 5 from Dopey. If you conquer flex on a baby, you might kill it. Unless it's Loki. Hashtag back me up, Seb. 1% chance. Hashtag forgive me, Lord Larry. Maybe. Another 2 from Smooth Weeb. So Roger and Rock's son shaped the world pre-time skip. A little bit. Another 5 from Tusabe. Sorry. It says, does this make Larry's respect for Blackbeard more, or will it diminish his rocks glaze? Also, the love Whitebeard adopting his captain's sons as his own idea.
No. I think I have the same outlook. Yeah. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. Another 2 from Smoothweeb. It says, Loki seems to be Oda's improved take on Naruto. Ooh. I do like that it's a little darker with him trying to do the things he tried to do in this chapter, but
yeah.
Another 10 from NYC Anime Nerd. The 4 bridges Tequila Wolf, if connected, could make a ring, the red line, grand line intersect like a cross. What if Imu makes a giant transport abyss seal? It also makes the symbol Shanks had tatted. Yo, so I saw this theory. O'Hara put it out. I don't know if you guys saw it or not.
No.
But you'd have to look at it. I'd have to send you guys the theory, but I actually really like it. It's Imu trying to make a giant Dami Reversi kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like across the world using the bridges like Tequila Wolf, etc. And the red line. Yeah, I was like, what? It could be dope. We got another 50 from JD Como. It says, I think the Nika fruit is the eternal flame needed to control Uranus, which Luffy has. Poseidon controls the Sea King. Sure, Hoshi has that. Following this theme, could Loki's unique eyes tied to ancient giants be the key to controlling Pluton? I had a mini theory similar to this a couple weeks back, but it was the hammer, actually.
The hammer.
That was the key. But maybe, very possible. Another 5 from Swifty. It says, could Loki's secret friend be the man / burn scars? That's his avenue to joining sailing with the Straw Hats. Maybe Blackbeard Shanks found him. Why he said his time is short.
There's such a hard obsession with this burn scar guy, bro.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Give it up.
See? Another 2 from Girthy Poppy. What devil fruit would you feed your girlfriend? # French tip fruit. The ride fruit. Another 20 from Jordan John. What's up, Top? Y'all gotta watch the newest Kuma's Life episode sometime. Some of the best editing I've seen in anime. Love you guys. # LarryTex. # Sebi Webby. # Law versus ASPCA. Yeah, stupid. One day.
Yeah.
Another 5 from Hella Frames. Yo, I haven't caught Alive in forever. Why haven't the twins dropped One Piece with their introduction of demons? Just wondering. Lawrence, I'll leave that up to you.
Go on, we don't have time for that.
Don't have time. All right,
they're not
2.
real demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another 2 from
That's
Nerdtaku.
the real answer.
Ryuma made the cut in God Valley, then Godblade. Oh, Ryuma made the cut in the God Valley.
Yeah.
Taco, I'm sorry we couldn't get to your theory today, man. Another 2 from Girthy Poppy. Describe what devil fruit would you... What? Describe what that devil fruit would do. # do me, mommy, know me.
Okay,
all right,
bro.
Girthy. Another 5 from Montrell. Found out Rox was Blackbeard's dad. Also found out I'm going to be a dad this week.
Oh, congrats.
Has been fire. Also, Top... Episode 25, Law is wearing regular glasses. Love y'all. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Another 5 from Diamond... And congrats, truly.
Yeah, congrats.
Another 5 from Diamond Life. It says, thoughts on blacksmith being conquerors, but sacrifice it to forge the great supreme grade blades. Got inspiration. The blacksmith arc in the Demon Slayer.
Not really. I don't think so.
Another 2 from Jay Darude. An impact dial with a switch on it would go crazy. # ouch. Another 5 from Mikey D. Luffy. Larry got blasted like on Hangover, but woke up with a torta instead of a lion. # crash. Crashing for the passion. Another 5 from Red Eye Itachi. Kaido saw Prime Whitebeard and still said no one was stronger than Prime Rocks. Is that what he said? Another 5 from Dope. It says, so Whitebeard didn't notice Blackbeard's ugly mug looked familiar, guy old, but can I get an answer to my first super chat? Oh, man, Dopey. I'd have to go back right now.
I mean, Blackbeard also had different hair. Like, entirely. Yeah. Like, he had, his hair was coarse. Meanwhile, Rox's hair is, like, straight.
Another 10 from King Wanze. It says, I'm here to push the dragon agenda. He has to be remotely close to Rock's level.
No.
Maybe. I don't know. Another 2 from Smoothweeb. Why not ask directions to a guy that has a crew? # BB? I don't get that one. Another 5 from Austin Hart. Did y'all hear JD Legends Controlverse? I did. I saw it on YouTube, on Instagram. I thought it was funny. Another 5 from AW. It says, what's good, Nikas? I know Larry was sick to his stomach finding out Blackbeard is Rock's son. LMAO. # BB.
It was
One.
not. It was dope.
Hashtag Law D Horse Hitter. Hashtag Larry still coping. Hashtag White Tats. I saw your live reaction. You were saying F like 20 times. Yeah, that's so funny. Another 10 from JD Cuomo. So I know that Jorel and Jarul were co-captains at one point, I think, but the way Odin uses the word partner at the start of the chapter makes it seem like they were romantic partners.
Pause.
I doubt that.
No.
Another 2 from Sam Lopez. Law would have soloed the giant animals, no diff. Another 5 from Slap Your Mama. I believe the hostile giant mentioned there was another outside lover hinting at a third child for Kaido. Third time from Harald, meaning Kaido. Maybe. Another 5 from Jada Rude. All Harald had to do was ask the Eddie brothers for help. He was just running away from his love triangle. Yo, what are we doing? Another 14s are from Ratchup. Do y'all think we'll ever see a Sea King Devil Fruit user? Probably not.
No.
Another 10 from Life with Anime Podcast. Our guys, it says,
The
all
boys.
love, fellas. Miss y'all boys, be blessed, stay up, and stop drinking milk and playing in the snow so dang much. LOL.
Can't.
I'm also almost caught up. I'll be here for the live next week. It's been too long. Bro, you missing a lot. Another
bro.
10 from Riwa. It says, if Usopp was given a week of preparation and could select and set up the venue with his knowledge and ingenuity, which Straw Hat could he potentially be? None. Another
He's not Batman.
yeah. Another 2 from Kyber Corporate. It says Kuina downscale. What? Okay. Another 5 from Agent Fodder. It says, hey, longtime watcher, I wanted to know who do you guys think is the strongest giant, and could a giant be on the Straw Hat crew? Strongest giant is Loki.
Yeah.
And sure. Another 20 from Tupai. It says, Poppy here. Sorry, had to. It's good to be back catching alive. Just finished my architecture thesis. Had to catch up. Oda, it's been nonstop cooking. Much love. Poppy out. Thank you, man. Another 20 from Pastor C. Okay, so boom. Harold gets snuck in as a slave. CDs pine over him, and hysteria breaks out over who buys him. A CD stumbles upon Rox mid-mission. Rox clips him. Alarm goes off. Admiral comes. Rox clips Admiral and dips.
No.
They would have said he
That's
took
a
the
lot.
CD
Yeah, they
too.
just said he clipped the
dissed
CD.
an arrow, yeah.
But I do like that thought process of Rox having a Luffy-like action.
Yeah,
Like he saw what
for
happened
sure.
to like that slavery. He didn't like it. Another
That would be dope.
20 from Victor Haight. Rock's death by Garp and Roger feels way more suspicious now. What if he was like Luffy, a real king in the making, and they had to clip him before he stepped on Emu's toes more? Maybe they lacked the power or truth then.
Listen, bro. He took a L. We just gotta
Figure out how.
just make sure we understand that.
Yeah. Another 2 from Pastor C. How y'all feel about Kid recovering at Ida's bar? I'd like it, but I don't know if y'all would. Another 5 from JT. Yo, Top, there's always a crazy plot twist betrayal. Who in One Piece do you think that will be? Hashtag Big Rocks, hashtag Higher Stocks, hashtag Don't Got Locks, hashtag Roger and 5. Betrayal. I don't know, man.
I was disappointed he didn't have locks.
I saw
Aokiji Blackbeard.
Yeah, that's the easy one, though. All right, another 2 from Eli the Greatest. Sadder story, Kuma story, or Law Horse story? Hashtag Travis.
Really?
Wow, man. Another 5 from Grayzilla. Have y'all heard O'Hara's theory about the alcohol bridges are forming the world-sized Holy Night signal? Yeah, I think they're just dropped that one out. I have to send you guys the theory. It's really good. Another 3 Australian from Jalen. Grab his hammer, pumping Whitebeard. Hashtag Seb top me off. All right, bro. Another 5 from Beep Bop Boop. What if Zebek was the king that helped Harold sneak into the reverie? Lawrence pulled this one out, and now he's looking for Harold to return the favor. It's very possible. I don't know if it's how, but it's possible. Another 5 from Raul Munoz. OG Warlords versus Akatsuki. How many members can the Warlords take out? Decent chunk. Not all the Akatsuki were elite like that, for real. And Mihawk go crazy. I don't want to say all because Itachi's in there, so a decent chunk. Another 20 from Leo Venturas. Been a backseat watcher for a while, but finally making enough money to start giving back for all the great
thank
things you
you.
guys do for us. Love you guys. Thank you. You
don't
don't
have to do that,
you don't
Leo.
have to do that. We got another 5 from Aliyah Tusabe. Notice how Seb didn't tell Taxman Larry to shut up this episode. That's Conquerors. Clap King.
Oh my
Hashtag
God.
how high does his tax bracket go? Another two from Jada Rude. Do basically Harold didn't lose his best Ida. Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Another two from High Space Gaming. Any female Oars Giants? There has to be, right? Another 5 from Ian Butler. That's for sure Ida. She stayed loyal even after Harold passed. Her character wouldn't just bounce. She'd stick to her convictions.
The nose is different.
Yeah, that's not her, but she could have still had another kid. Actually, we got another 5 from Virgil. It says, had to escape from Larry Joie. Just to ask this, where does this rank in y'all's most shocking chapters? Also, Ace is the GOAT for sliding on rocks, son.
10 out of 10, bro.
It can't be because I got spoiled, which sucks.
Both of these chapters back to back have been 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Another 5 from Kirby. Oda gonna have rocks talking crazy. Shut up, Roger, before I smack you and take your huzz like I did on Hachinosu last week. That's crazy.
Before you continue, you missed one.
Did I?
I was never given a name. 493 says, do you guys really think Loki won't join a crew after Luffy goes G5 and he sees Luffy in the person he and all of Elbaf idolize and strive to be like?
He got to be alive, bro.
Yeah.
One. I don't know. We'll see. He very well could. I like the idea of Loki joining a little bit more nowadays, just because of what his flashbacks look like. We got another 5 from Kyrian Calhoun. Y'all think Oda had a sad childhood? He'd be making these kids suffer. Crying emojis. We all cooked in the verse. I hope not. Not to this level, anyway. Another 2 from Red Haired Stabs. What if rocks ripped Harold's horns off his head? Wow.
Yeah, that'll be wild.
That'll be wild.
Tucci, thank you for becoming a Nakama.
Yeah. Another, and yo, I can't see the gifteds here. So if you see them, let me know.
I'll just read it then.
Yeah.
Kieran with the 2 says, love y'all. I see 2 goats and Larry.
We'll read that one, bro.
That's so funny. Burgerman J with the 5. Year was goody. Do you think Loki was the 4th Yonko before Shanks with Big Mom, Kaido, and Whitebeard? Sebastian said that might have been the case. Kieran again with the 2 says, Blackbeard's action so far is a shame to rocks. I would agree. Justin Anderson with the 50 says, I believe Oda will put out a 2 to 3 hour movie about everything in the Ancient Kingdom and what happens in it when we have episodes that explains enough to understand the movie, and Vagabond Volume 9. Now really good. Hashtag shout out top goat cast. Hashtag Larry tax paid.
Thank you for the 50.
Yeah, thank you for the 50. That's a lot. Thank you. I can see the movie happening for sure. I hope it's a movie.
He said he liked the Demon Slayer and like JJK have been doing.
That'd be
in
nice.
an interview once.
Ian Butler with the 2 says, Ice Oni may be inspired by the Frozen Giants? Maybe. ODB with the 2 says, does Seb get a technical W for Shiki and Elbaf?
Little baby W. Little baby one.
No.
This ain't how I wanted it.
No,
It's not
because
cursing.
that's not how he said it.
That's not how I wanted
Mr.
it.
Tez with the 2 didn't say anything, but thank you. Gray Zilla became a Nakama, thank you. Professor Guwap with the 10. Yo, love the content. Been here for a short amount of time, but always feel the love. Keep it up, bros. Hashtag pumping into Whitebeard. Oh my God. Hashtag and what of his heart. Hashtag Sebby Webby. Monkey D Tone with the 10 says, been supporting and rocking with the pod for a grip. Yeah, boys, the truth. Always show love with a like. First time dropping a super chat. Keep grinding. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Paul with the 5. Thank you. Didn't say anything. Grayzilla with the 2. Hotep Haruden is crazy. Matthew Morales with the 2. Don't y'all feel OP is a anti-capitalist story?
Not exactly.
Not
Oda
exactly,
does
yeah.
too much with the cultures and how they do trade for me to say that. Like he really focuses on the money aspect of it or the way to earn money.
Yeah.
So
Nate D Dynasty with 35 says, sending love from South Africa. Been a fan for a year. Keep doing what you're doing. Hashtag top podcast. Hashtag faith over fear. Hashtag law leaving them black and blue. Thank you. Shout out to South Africa too, man. Grayzilla again with the 5 says, yo, Lionel, whatever happened to Elbaf? Hashtag bang bang buggy gang. Soul King, thank you for becoming a Shichibukai. CBP with the 2 says, using my last $3 to say Blackbeard has conquerors. Haki, Larry. Oh, thanks, man. Jada Rude with the 2 says, Larry getting scared as he reads right now? No. Half Fro Man with the 30 says, super late to the stream, but keep up the good work. Thanks for finally giving me back my girlfriend, Larry. Here's the rest of what I owe you. You sit in that corner, you watch. ODB, too. Harald looks good. Crazy Blackbeard and Chopper's brothers. Grayzilla with the 2 says, rocks, paper, chop, chop.
That was another O'Hara theory, that he's ate the rock, paper, scissors, fruit, or something like that. Something crazy.
He just pointed out 2 because of 2 questions. 4T with the 5 says, would you guys be shocked if it turns out Rock's Dieselbeck didn't have Conqueror's Haki at all, but instead 3 devil fruits? Yeah, that would be extremely disappointing.
That would be disappointing.
All right. True Religion Kid with the 10 says, what's up, Top? Do you guys think the Admiral was holding back because of the reverie? Firepot as always, hashtag Admiral Agenda, hashtag BBC. If your life is on the line, no.
Maybe to start, but not, not the whole time.
Yeah. Beep, boop, bop. What the 2 says, Rock's waiting to pull a Madara entrance. Yeah. Sophia became a Nakama for 5 months. I think Rock's had the OP fruit and living within Blackbeard. I am Max with the 5 says, Blackbeard isn't impulsive. We clearly see he plans for everything. He is like Dragon, the off-screen kings. Blackbeard is showing how different he is from the D's.
Is Dragon an off-screen king?
Basically. Kyber Corporate with the 5 says, Buggy, Blackbeard, and Shanks all come from God Valley. Now they Yonkos. Hashtag topped on top. Hashtag it's not you, law. All right.
What?
Not 8s, not funny. With the 5 says, I'm putting all my chips on Rocks. Got the awakened chop fruit. Making him like Sakuna. Probably not, but it sounds cool. That sounds actually pretty cool. Jada Root the 2, I don't like Blackbeard fans. Seb, the Blackbeard fan. Lucid Dreams with the 2 says, what if the immortality surgery is a soul transfer? Lance Scholes with the 2, grilled cheese muncher tuning in for the show. I remember the grilled cheese joke.
Yeah.
I am Max with another 2, Joyboy, Emu, Roger, Garb, Rocks, hashtag no fruit gang. Roberto Figueredo with the 5 says, hey guys, sorry about the super chat earlier about the tiger. I don't know why it was pinned, but you guys can keep the 5 from now and from before. Oh, thank you. And then Seagull with the 5 says, I'm not a big theory guy, but I always wondered why didn't Shanks take Ace under his wing? Would be crazy to have seen a Haki focus days. Yeah, you know he existed, bro. But
they met.
But when
they met, he was already a pirate captain and like.
Yeah, guys. Listen, it's the end of the podcast. Please say thank you to Marv for letting us stay an extra 11 minutes than we were supposed to. Marv, thank you so much for staying possibly the longest episode we've ever had. Please, everybody, huge W's in the chat from Marv. Tell him thank you. And thank you to all of you for linking up with us. Literally had 1,000+ people for the first time in chat. Really excited to see that number grow. Love you guys. Seriously, you guys make our day. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. I like to see it 1,000 likes. To everybody that's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you have a banger of an episode to listen that you just listened to. We're so grateful for you too. Thank you to everybody that super chatted. If we missed any of your super chats, please hit us up in the Discord. Let us know. I will make the timestamps. I will fix the ads. All that stuff. So thank you so much. We love you. My name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Seb.
That's all I know. I don't want that shit. And Lionel. Jana.